Oh, dude, I'm dying right now. I'm dead, bro. Oh, yeah, baby. That's hilarious. I'm in the chat like, we didn't even get a coffin drop in the coffin match. I don't care if I won the match, I'm still gonna friggin' bust my ass. Oh, I fell into it. I put myself in the coffin grave. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your AEW review. Wednesday night, 10 p.m., July 14, 2021. And the entire chat has a big one in their pants. AEW Fyter Fest, night number 1. And we got a little bit of what we kind of expected here tonight. Fans selling this one out, which made everything that much better, as you noticed and you saw from the show tonight. The fans just really made a big difference. Like, it was already I thought tonight was actually pretty well done anyway. That's the crazy thing. That's the thing about this, is I thought they did well anyway. But then on top of that, the execution, the setups, what they had planned, what they have planned for next week at Fyter Fest night number 2. When you add that all together with, when you add that all together with what they were doing tonight, and with the fans being sold out in Texas, people ready to go in Texas, it really just doesn't get much better at this point. I mean, that was so, we knew it was gonna. We didn't really talk a lot about the crowd and what's gonna happen. We just kind of went, well, see what happens, see what goes on, and really it was just right from the get-go, pleasant surprise, good booking, good timing on almost everything tonight on where it landed. The execution of everything was on point too, and then on top of that, the fans are there to clean up, so any awkwardness or weirdness was cleaned up anyway by the fact that the fans are so loud and into it, which is what the fans can do and add. Man, wow, what a great show. What a great wrestling show. WWE should watch this and feel stupid. To be honest, anybody who now, going forward who says AEW is not that, it's get the hell out of here. I don't care if some of what they do is goofy or you don't like in the wrestling. I mean, tonight I was entertained, and that's all I care about. This entertained the hell out of me tonight. I can't believe it's already over. I wish that coffin match could have been another 5 minutes, but that's a friggin' great problem to have, I guess, compared to WWE. And we have, amazingly, he's alive. Jake is here, which is, we may not have gotten him, so it's amazing he's here. He's not dead yet. What's up?
Not yet, but what a night this was. Damn, this was excellent from start to finish. They killed it. I am thoroughly entertained. I love this night. And judging by the card, you knew it would be good and they were going to be in front of live fans. But even the stuff that I wasn't greatly looking forward to turned out to be really exciting. I don't know if just the live crowd feel, yet again, I'm getting swept up. I mean, they had a live crowd the week before, but it's just that
this was a better
atmosphere.
One.
Yeah, this was a much better crowd. I don't know if it was mic'd differently because everyone.
No, I know what it was. I'll tell you
what
it was. They were in another part of Florida. That's all. They were just in another. I think they were in Miami or something, right?
It was Miami, but I mean,
those fans aren't the same.
The crowd even said that they were loud. And Miami's never. It depends on the moment, but
yeah,
Texas is usually good for wrestling. The HEB Center is a good size. Paul was there. I saw his sign a few times, so thank you for that. Genoa does fear Cronin.
Yes, great. Now I didn't see it.
Janela fearing Cronin.
I didn't see it on the broadcast. Did anyone end up seeing it on the broadcast? I didn't see it.
I saw it once before the end of the Darby match, briefly.
Interesting.
So
That's awesome.
someone in the
man.
chat said too, but
Was that Deftones and his son, I believe.
yeah. So good on Paul to bring that. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was fun.
They started out hot. They know their audience, bringing out Moxley, and then from there, I felt like that really made tonight work well too. Was the placement of the matches and the pacing, how they were planning on handling things, worked really, really well. So the Texas crowd was very receptive to everything. They were all really good matches. 3 little gripes that I have, I could tell you right off the bat. I didn't really care for the women's match that they had.
Nope. Yeah.
It was a decent match, but I'm sorry. Most of the female wrestlers feel very interchangeable, and that was part of the problem. Penelope Ford, is decent, but Yuka Sakalada D, whatever her name is, I'm not sure.
Well, it's always Kenny Omega got caught in Japan with children or something. So with somebody's daughter. So he now has to. It always feels like Kenny Omega has to, like, these women have to win from Japan all the time because why? Because Kenny said so. And also because it's like I'm trying to figure it out, but and I guess like she's returning tonight after all this time, so she's got to win against Penelope Ford. But the crowd even just looks at it like, what? Like,
and I don't dislike the Joshi style, but like Stardom can be really entertaining, and it's such a great sign, and things like that. But I don't know. They all feel interchangeable at this point. There's not, and Yuka, even joking aside, has like a pretty decent style. It's not like they were bad tonight. I just don't have anything that separates them. There's no character there. Britt Baker has a good character, and I wonder, we'll talk about it in a bit when we get to that point. Should they flip her face and completely, commit to Nyla being a heel? I certainly think that would be much better in this instance. But
I just gotta say full mark, because at the end of the show tonight, I said out loud in the chat. Actually, said in the chat, I was like, "Man, I love tonight, but the only thing I'm disappointed about is there's no coffin drop in the coffin match." And I'm like, he could pull him out of the coffin and do it in the ring, I guess, or he could. I actually thought about, like, what if he did it into the coffin? I'm like, that's nuts. He's not going to do that. So I even thought of it, like, what if he dives into the coffin? And then I'm like, we're not going to get a coffin drop. That's hilarious. That's crazy, because that's the thing that pops everyone, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, that in the coffin match, like you said, waiting for the coffin drop, he hits him with the kind of like mini version of the coffin drop right away in the beginning of the match, and he's it was like a standing
the
run,
running back,
and he's wearing he's wearing the protective like steel plate. That was a great idea. Yep. I wish Ethan kind of sold that a bit more, but it was smart because Ethan is a very small guy to begin with. I mean, he's stacked, he's jacked, but he's tinier compared to the other wrestlers. No offense, I don't mean it in that sense, but he certainly is smaller by nature. And Darby is really tiny. And you don't realize how small Darby is sometimes until you see him up against some of these other guys who are also rather small.
But it's great how he uses his whole body as a weapon, and he really...
That's the thing. They sell that.
Yeah, and he's explosive. It's like he really... Other than... Who's the other... There's one other guy who's a little smaller who really comes off as like a missile. And I can't think of him now. God damn it. He's in... the tag team.
Ray Phoenix?
Ray Phoenix. Yeah, Ray Phoenix is another guy who really does it well, and he's muscular, bigger than Darby.
Yeah, we got that good death triangle tease with Andrade. Just like NXT last night was trying to set up for the future, I feel like, there's a lot here that's building towards the younger talent, the newer stars. There's a lot of focus on not just the elite at this point, which is refreshing, but you still have your mainstays. You've got Cody, you've got Hangman, you've got Kenny, but then you also had Ricky Starks get a title, and, you saw Sammy Guevara get a hometown welcome, which was really nice. That was my only other gripe. I just wish that match was a little bit longer. Sammy didn't need to have a longer match against Yuta by any means, but I wish he had a better opponent in the sense of someone more known. So it should have been someone from the Pinnacle. It would have made more sense to do that if he took on one of FTR. And I wish he had more time here. That would have been nice. Shave a couple minutes off of Christian and Hardy, maybe just 1 or 2, because they had a really good match, but it was 13 minutes. I don't think it needed to be as long. Probably took away 3 minutes and it would be solid. But even that, they sold well, because I didn't know that Christian has never beaten Matt Hardy in a singles match. That should have been the focus this entire time.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even hear that. I didn't even know that still until you just said that. So I still didn't. I missed the commentary on that. So
yeah, and the commentary briefly mentioned it at the beginning.
Yeah, like
and
what?
it was just a simple throwaway line, and I was like, that's your story. That's your whole reason for having this match. They've literally faced off, you said, 200 times.
Yeah.
Mostly in tag team matches. So they've faced off in the ring almost 200 times throughout their history, and Christian has never beaten Matt Hardy in a singles match. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So let's see, what's going to happen here. But instead it was just like, oh, they've had a rivalry forever. So it didn't have that much intrigue until they said that. Then I became very incensed, and more in tune with the match. I was like, oh, this now has more interest.
That's shocking.
I like it when wrestling's logical, and everything tonight, 99% of it felt logical. It made sense. It flowed. It's just good tonight.
It's shocking that they did not mention that. That is unbelievable, and that I didn't even know that either. So
yeah, because that's just such a shocking statistic to hear. That 20 plus years, all the matches they've had, singles and tag, and the fact that he's never beaten them in a singles match, over 200 outings. It's like, wow, that's a hell of a thing to just kind of skip over. But
yeah,
they had a good match. The crowd was absolutely into every match tonight, but they really like Christian, obviously, and this sets up a 6-man tag more than likely, I believe, for next week or the week after. We'll see Lucha Express and Christian take on Matt Hardy in Private Party, so that'll be a fun match as well for the crowd. And it's logical. It keeps them busy while Jungle Boy can't quite go for the singles title yet. They're kind of milking that as well, so let him still do the tag team stuff, build up more rapport with the fans while they're back in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Starks, the crowd was going nuts for, rightfully so. That match was really, really, really good, and I like the swerve that they pulled of Will Hobbs starting off to be like, no, don't cheat, earn it. And then you think Ricky's going to lose, and then they attack him.
The thing about that,
all along,
it's weird, dude. First of all, I popped too because that was awesome. He's like, you're not going to use this belt. And then the way they executed that was so well done, dude. That got me. I was like, whoa, shit. The only reason why it's weird is because they're supposed to be the heels, and the crowd is cheering for that. But the reason why the crowd is cheering for that moment when Hobbs hits him with the title, hits Brian Cage in the head with the belt, is really just because the crowd was so fired up and excited to see wrestling. They were impressed with the swerve and with the execution, and they got excited about it. So they were cheering the heels sort of, but really cheering more what they saw. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, it wasn't like in a normal setting, the crowd might boo that, like just boo it or, whatever. But they were like popping for it because it was so exciting. So, I mean, I guess job well done either way. I mean, I think they know who the heels are, and I think they will cheer for Brian Cage. But I think that they just were so excited that they were getting something that specially executed that they popped, and that's the thing. That's the and maybe Cornette is someone who'll think that's bad, like, you idiots, like, they're cheering the bad guys, you stupid morons, like, maybe, but I understand it's a weird situation, back for the first time, sold out in Texas, so I gotta believe that's. And there was a lot of that tonight where people were going to cheer stuff, just, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Heel, face, DMD is another one.
Do you know who knows this, though?
But she's wicked over, and I got to say it that way, because she's just so damn over.
But I want to put over somebody who we don't, sometimes we make fun of him, and sure enough, Jim Cornette makes fun of him. But I really want to put over Kenny Omega in a way, because Kenny Omega I think they clearly knew what the crowd was going to be like tonight. And Kenny Omega delivered a line that was so lame and so loserish, but he did it on purpose. Because if he had thought of something cool, and unfortunately Jericho kind of does this a lot. I don't know if it's a selfish thing. I don't know if it's just he's so much more creative than Kenny. I don't know. But the bottom line is, Jericho would come up with something cool as a name for something, as a bad guy. And the problem with that is the crowd then latches onto that and starts buying the t-shirts and repeating the stuff. But what Kenny Omega did tonight, which was really good, is Kenny Omega said, yeah, well, you're doing some cowboy shit, or whatever he said, something like this. I don't remember anymore. It was something like this. He goes, I'll be doing some belt collector or something really horribly lame.
Yeah.
Right? But he could have came up with a cool name, for that, but he didn't. He purposely sounded like a loser on purpose because he wanted them to boo him. And when he did that, they booed him because it was so stupid. But if he had said something cool, like King of Gold or something else that was cooler than whatever, he thought about something like Jericho would have, like the List or whatever you want to say, a little bit of the bubbly, like they just go on. He was supposed to be a heel then, but he's getting over because people like this stuff. So Kenny Omega doesn't go, I'm going to come up with a cool way of saying how good I am and how I'm going to whatever, I'm Thanos this or something. He just goes, I'm the championship collector. And it's so bad.
Yeah, it was belt collector. You were right. And
Yeah.
he said, I want to turn those chants of cowboy shit into belt collector.
Yeah, which was great.
Because he had a great line there,
he doesn't
Joe, where he went
outshine
ahead
it.
and he's like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but you don't fail either. And that's what you're really afraid of, because that's the story they've been telling all along. Page is afraid to fail, so he won't try. And that's what the Dark Order is trying to rescue him from, his anxiety, his fears. And so the crowd hears that, and they lay into Kenny with the cowboy shit chant. And then Omega from there, my God, like you said, you get the belt collector line. But if he came back with something poignant, something intelligent, they would have cheered him.
Right.
Same way they started to very initially with the Young Bucks. Who was it in the ring? Matt?
Yeah, he cut a good promo. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was shocked. I did not see that coming from him. And so Adam Page comes out initially. We'll just cover this from the start. And,
Right.
Really quick, I want to make a comment too. Who was it that said it earlier in the chat? They were cheering for Ricky before he even had the Janelle Banks said it. They were cheering for him long before he ever had the swerve or possible win for the title change. They were just impressed by him athletically. So
okay, so all right,
yeah,
maybe
that alone was great.
I didn't pick up on that then, I suppose, but
because even when he did the powerbomb from the corner, they bought into the false finish, and then they really got into Ricky.
Yeah, he kicked out at the last second. Yeah, that was crazy.
Great kick out. So that was 2 9/10.
And unfortunately, the women jumping to the women, it was kind of already all night long. People have been kicking out of a lot of things. So when the women did it, I was like, ugh, I wish they just had a clean win or whatever. Because we've already seen it tonight, and people aren't that fired up about this. So
no, and it didn't look like one of those spots that deserved those type of kickouts.
Yeah, it didn't seem right, and unfortunately,
didn't feel as extreme in the sense of there was no urgency or danger.
Not to bury the women again, I feel like AEW always whatever. But glad to see her.
Well, it's
come
not
back.
all the women, because Britt Baker's fantastic.
No, Britt Baker did great. Yeah, the promo that was better than the women's match. Penelope Ford looked amazing. Glad to see Yuka back. I think she's somewhat all right. I think she just a little too finessey for me. I think sometimes she's got a little more rougher. I think if she could get a little rougher, it'd be nice. Right now she looks like flying Aladdin person, and I think that needs to go away. But whatever, that's me. Let's move back to the beginning. Let me play a donation real quick, actually, because we got a couple. Let's play a couple donos. What are you guys saying? If you want to say it, leave it in the comments or whatever. That you can vote on that poll, or you can drop a dono. Using Streamlabs would be the best way to do it. Using Perfect Sparrow or Evil Spectrum, whichever one you want to use is fine. Certainly helps out. And I'm going to play one right now so we can go ahead and hear what's going on with you guys. Shit bum. You become. It's our buddy Royal Thomas. What's up, Royal Thomas?
Oh yeah,
What? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, tonight was it. You got the coffin drop off the top rope through the damn.
We got to save the coffin drop. I keep wanting to talk about it. Let's start from the beginning. Because can you believe they did that, though? I still man, thank you. Darby, they popped this 36-year-old, 37? Am I 37 now?
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Birthdays.
I'm 37. They popped this 37-year-old man-child because I wanted a coffin drop, and we didn't get it, but I loved it, so I was like, fuck it, it's awesome. We didn't get one, but all right. Then this son of a bitch jumps through the fucking coffin on a coffin drop, which was hilariously, recklessly ridiculous. I love it. Can you imagine sitting in there waiting?
There was a lot of recklessness in that.
Imagine sitting in the coffin waiting for that.
Both of them having to take it, and you saw Sky covering his face kind of like this through the crack because they don't. He's coming. Thankfully, he's light enough, but that sucks.
I would have been covering my face and then covering my dick. That would have been the two things.
Junk and face. Just kind of Yep, no doubt about it. And I think it was Aaron in the chat that said Ricky lives in Austin, but I think they have him. I thought he was billed from New Orleans. So,
well,
either way,
I'd rather be from Austin.
He's still got a hometown reaction.
You want gumbo and shootings or what? No,
either way.
Yeah, no, either way.
So we get Moxley coming out. They're going to start off knowing their audience, white hot, get Moxley's return out of the way. This way you get the crowd into it. You get people tuning in on TNT again, like, holy cow, this is big. Moxley's back. And he's defending his U.S. IWGP title. That, against Carl Anderson, too. I only wish they built this more because there's a lot of history with Carl Anderson in the title that they tried to cover all the kayfabe and throw all the story in as the match is occurring. So it's hard to listen and also keep your eye on the match. So I wish they had more time to build this than just last week, because they really could have turned this into like the redemption for Carl Anderson. Even if he doesn't beat him and it's just one match, that's fine. But I feel like still awesome match. Crowd is hyped for it. I'm still not crazy about Wild Thing, but they come out, crowd's rip-roaring pumped, and right away, you just see Eddie goes ahead and heads, full head of steam. Kingston runs off and takes right into, Anderson's partner. So you see Doc going over the side. And they had a chair set up along the barricade so both of their big asses could get over said barricade. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That opening, all that stuff they did early on was funny and good and electrifying kind of. And the fans
so now they have a huge brawl on the outside. We've got New Japan rules on the inside, so it's an hour time limit, 20 count on the outside. And now we start seeing them just trade shots. And I mean stiff punches at times, too. And they keep going back and forth.
It's funny when the crowd got tired, they were like, boo, boo, yeah. And then they were like, all right, we're done.
Let's move on here. But the crowd got tired of it before they got tired of kicking each other's ass. So Moxley was biting Machine Gun for a while, then suplexes him back into the ring. And Anderson no-sells the suplex and then hits this huge kick. And then they have this, back and forth. And then they both do a double clothesline and another double clothesline. And it was just one hell of a sequence. Moxley goes for this pile driver, and then, Anderson stuffs it, gets his own pile driver, and it didn't look great, but it's kind of a botch. Not really. Like, he saved it at the very end. Thankfully, it could have went wrong, but they didn't let it. Then we got this great cutter from the top rope that I thought was going to be it for a second. Like, that was a great sell. That actually made me kind of tense up. I'm like, wow, maybe they will change the belt with all they're saying about the history. Maybe they, because it was just that instant. I actually believed that the doubt, in my mind.
Right.
And not often does that happen. And it happened a couple times tonight. Usually I am kind of jaded or markish, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, you just know, when after you watch wrestling for a couple of years, you're like, oh, suplex, finisher, kick out, finisher, 3 count. You just kind of know the sequence and usually what's coming. When they subvert those expectations and surprise you, it's great.
Yeah, this was pleasantly surprising. A lot of the stuff. I mean, really, I was caught off guard tonight. Like, this caught me off guard tonight. I don't know. I was excited kind of, but not really. Like, I wasn't like, this just caught me off guard. And I think that helped. I was surprised.
That was my point. I was not crazy about Moxley and Carl Anderson. I wasn't, going into the show. I was like, there's going to be some good matches. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks I thought would have been really good, but even that I wasn't overly excited for. There was not Matt Hardy, Christian Cage, like Diva Bible said. What year is it? I get it.
Diva Bible. So, oh my God, is that person still around?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
yeah, talking to him regularly.
I haven't heard from him forever. Diva Bible,
still making gifts, and that ended up turning into a great moment as well. It was like everything that I wasn't overly sold for. Even the Coffin match, I was kind of like, you guys have been feuding forever, and how much more can we see of this? But they did an excellent job, and that was the final nail in the coffin, pun intended. It seems like this feud is over now. So thankfully, there's a lot to do going forward, and they built up a lot for next week as well. It was just top to bottom. So again, like I said, Anderson then hit the stun gun, and that was another great near fall, and it looked really, really convincing. And then Moxley pulls his usual, cowboy self, wobbles up, goes ahead and hits his paradigm shift and gets the hell out of there. So he's got shit to do. Moxley's got laundry and other baby responsibilities. He's got to go mix up some bottles. He's on his way out.
We'll mention it later, but he did have a promo later that was also great.
It was so badass, and that kind of leads into what happens not long after. So Andrade is then with Alex Abrahantes in the back. And I like that they have subtitles so he can speak Spanish and a little bit of English here and there. Don't give him a translator. Just translate it for him. That's fine. Let him speak.
Yeah, that works. That worked.
That works for me. So he says, "Where is Death Triangle?" and pass along a message that I'm looking for them. That excited me. I don't even know why. I guess the idea of seeing Andrade and Penta and Andrade and Rey Fenix and Andrade and Pac and Andrade and all three of them. And does he take over the Death Triangle? And does he, all these things? What is his game plan? I'm excited. I've always liked Andrade. I mean, his matches have always been entertaining and damn good, especially in NXT. He had some of my favorite matches with Gargano, with McIntyre, on and on. And I want to see more from him. So this excites me that he'll be working with those guys, hopefully.
Yeah, he's a guy who could really use what's his face? Kenny's manager. What the hell's wrong?
Don Callis.
Yeah. Cyrus. I keep thinking of Cyrus.
Cyrus the Virus, yeah.
I love that shit back in the day. Late night, ECW, 2 in the morning, and there was Dingleberry with that weird shit on his head talking about how the TV executives don't like what they're doing. Just amazing to think back to 1999 or whatever year that was, 98, 99. But yeah, so much. Let me go to the donos again. There's a lot to say. Guys, vote in the chat if you can. And let me just see real quick. I don't want him to miss out. I believe Royal Thomas, yes, Royal Thomas is our top dog at the moment. So, Royal, we're going to put you on there real quick because I want you to have that $5 spot there. Thank you, brother.
You donated.
Oh, and there it goes. It's going to go away right away.
Take my dick out.
You had it, you lost it.
It's gone now.
You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Wow.
Fyter Fest Night 1 was 8/10 show with a 10/10 crowd. I hope they come back to Austin again because this crowd was fire. Tonight was phenomenal all around. Favorite moment was Darby doing the coffin drop at the end. That straight up killed me.
That killed me. I was laughing like a hyena. I was getting all because of the, and by the way, Soundwave, thank you, man. $50 super chat though, so that doesn't work for you, Jake. Sorry. But the Soundwave 92, thank you, man. I was dying. Whoa, looks like I'm black. Wait a minute.
that was almost perfectly lined up.
That was so weird.
As soon as I switched screens, I started laughing.
Whoa. Suddenly, I think I had a little too much sun.
I never realized, it kind of has that bullfrog look.
He kind of does look like Bullfrog a
like
little
a
bit.
Black bullfrog.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Ribbit.
my stupid family members thousands of years ago moved into caves, and then we turned pale so the sun could get into our skin. But anyway, no, I love that because I'm like, oh man, I said it in the chat. Oh, dude, we're not gonna get a coffin drop on the coffin match. Unbelievable! I couldn't wait to hear the pop. I was waiting for the pop of the crowd when Darby Allin hits a coffin drop. I thought it was gonna be great, and then didn't happen. But everything was so good, it didn't matter. And then it was like, all right. But then he does it, and I'm a mark because I turned into a mark, and then I start freaking out, like laughing and thinking that was hilarious.
Just to let everybody know, I mean, a few people, Soundwave said it and whatnot, but Friday, WWE, they're not at the same place, but they're still in Houston, Texas. So they're at the Toyota Center for SmackDown Live. So it should still be a hot Texas crowd. I mean, they were just in Cedar Park tonight at the HEB Center. Now we've got, Friday with SmackDown. Texas is having a good week for wrestling.
I do think the WWE crowd is going to be bizarrely lit in a way that's different, only because there's been no crowd. I mean, I thought WrestleMania, though, would be like that, and it was pretty lit for Mania, but isn't this different, right? This is a situation where they're in a smaller venue that's full, right? Like, that's what we're dealing with on SmackDown, or am I incorrect?
The Toyota Center holds 19,000.
Oh, my God.
So it's not too small, but I don't know. I've heard so many conflicting reports on ticket sales. Yeah. So
my voice just cracked.
Mine too. It was a double.
But no, so like
I've heard so many conflicting reports of 50%, 100%, 75%.
See, that's the thing. Why not
go
to a venue with like 15 to 10,000 people and fill it, as opposed to that? I mean, I don't know. That's going to be. See, that's the thing is this felt really good because they were in a small place. They were in the place that they were in Boston, which is the college arena, which, holds 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people, and I think this building tonight held about 8,000 people or 7,000 or something like that. And they packed it. They filled it. And so
the HEB Center holds exactly 8,000. You nailed it.
Yeah. So like something like the Worcester Centrum holds a little more than that. Or
WWE's
DCU.
doubling it with the capacity, but I don't know what they're selling. When I go and look at the tickets too, it says, I click find tickets, nothing available. That's at the site, but that's through Toyota Center itself. They released a few more. Okay. When I check now, but they are going for $20 to $120. So you really can't beat that.
Yeah.
For SmackDown, the highest price ticket, I guess, was $120 through the Ticketmaster thing itself.
Well, take a look at that.
Wow.
75% of you thought AEW tonight was just awesome, and 9% okay, 4% didn't like it, and 12% didn't watch. I'm assuming most people liked it since we're here on the review, but,
Yeah, they're sold out for Friday. Now you can't get them anymore. So
really, 19,000 people?
You can get them. I don't know if it's 19,000. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to find out any confirmation on that. If anybody in the chat heard anything specific, but everything I've looked up has been so conflicting that's the problem. We got Bianca and Carmella for then, and then Big E, Kevin Owens, Seth, and Nakamura. So those are the 2 advertised matches, and possibly the return of John Cena. But back to AEW. The reason I brought that up was just because, I comparing centers, they're both going to be in Texas, obviously, so good on them. But, they could actually end up having the same size audience if they do 50% capacity. So
right. Hey, man, Soundwave, just want to say thank you, man. That was a big $50 bomb. Appreciate that, dude. What's up, Soundwave92? But yeah, where do we leave off? We can get back to it now. I'll go back to the donation.
So now after the match, Moxley celebrates, and we talked about Andrade. Then we get Ricky Starks coming out. He makes his entrance, and Hobbs and Hook were already at ringside with Taz joining the commentary. And this would actually be important later on. So Brian Cage comes out. I like the pyro he has for his entrance too, with the fire. When he smacks his hand down, it goes off. It just looks badass. Got to give him that much.
That was pretty cool.
Well, the way the crowd was so hyped tonight too, like it just made everything feel spectacular, above and beyond. I can't believe how much an audience, we've said this forever with the pandemic, but how much it adds to it. But my God. And if it wasn't a good show, certainly the crowd can add to it, but when it's an even better show because of it, top notch. So right away, these two go nuts. And the hometown crowd, like we said before, Ricky Starks, apparently that's the case. So she's right and awesome. And they're giving him a ton of love, and you see this huge press slam from Cage, and then a massive power slam. You get a 2 count, and it just, they're really starting to beat the hell out of each other. Starks starts to use some of his speed to get out of the way so he can get out of the corner, and that's when you see Cage smash into the turnbuckle, and Stark then focuses on Cage's bicep for a little bit and gets some drop kicks and comes off the top rope with like a missile type drop kick. That was good. Then we saw that great crucifix bomb for the 2 count, and right as they come back from commercial, and the crowd lost their mind there. So, that was great. And then he goes to grab the title, and that's when we go ahead and we see Will Hobbs say, no, don't cheat, don't use the title. Cage grabs him, and then all of a sudden Starks slides out of the way, and Cage, comes back and hits him with a drop kick. Starks is trying to choke him out, and Cage just gets the hell out of that like it's nothing, like a fly, just ticking him off. He flicks him away, hits a huge pump handle slam, and Starks just barely gets his leg on the rope, so he survives again. And you're like, oh, that's it. It's going to be it. We get a tornado DDT that ends up being missed into a super kick and another near fall. I'm like, damn, this is just one thing after another. Like, they're really beating the hell out of each other. Then you get the F5. You're like, oh, no, look at that. Look at that. He's not going to use the title, a big F5. And I'm like, oh, there we go. He's going to retain. But no, the ref gets distracted by Hook. Hobbs grabs the belt, jumps and leaps into Cage, just belts him with the belt. Great sell job.
Looked great,
Stark
the whole thing.
Hits an amazing spear right after, and the crowd erupted.
Right.
It was incredible. For how wrestling has been recently, just not even just pandemic, but with how painful it was to sit through.
Let's
Raw
listen
the
to
other night.
it. You want to listen to the shot when it happened?
Absolutely.
Let's pull
I'd
that
love to hear
up.
the reaction again.
We can listen to that, everybody, I believe. I think Tony will allow it. Here it is. Here's the moment where...
So we hope.
Right. Or I'm going to cry. Let's see. This is amazing. Here comes the great boom.
Hook, what's Hook doing? Hook distracting. He's got the Bryce Remsburg. Got the referee. Oh my God! What happened? The spear. What the hell? What? Oh my God! I love it. This shit was.
Place lost it for the bad guys. Unbelievable.
And Taz losing it on commentary was great.
Yeah.
He flipped out, and once he went and was like not shocked and was so elated, I was like, there's their plan. All right, I feel a bit slow for not, seeing that coming, but I loved that I didn't see it coming and that I was unexpected, and it's good to be, having your expectations subverted, like I said before, a little bit of swerve, felt great, loved it.
Yeah, love that shit.
It was a really good match, too, so that's the thing. It wasn't just like it was a crap match, but then they had a really good ending. WWE does that sometimes, where when you do get a surprise ending, I feel like it comes after a very boring match.
Right. Yeah, it does.
They don't like to... And we've had it all but confirmed.
Yeah, this just kept building and going up and up and up. And
yeah,
and
it just kept, ascending until it hit that crescendo. So,
yeah,
very solid match. And I think that there's room for them to still have a rematch here with a full-on stipulation.
Yeah.
And it won't be boring because, they hit a lot here. But I'm happy to see where they can go. And I don't think they're going to overstay their welcome. Obviously, Cage is going to leave Team Taz very shortly and go on to do his own thing solo as a face, which is good because I feel like he's better serviced in that role. People want to cheer him as the big guy that's, just comes in, wreck shops, leave. That's what Lance Archer was supposed to be, but it didn't really work. And then Lance cuts a great promo. I think it was right after this. No, maybe it was later on. I think I might have jumbled up my notes, but still, as you said, Lance is going to challenge him for the IWGP title, and he cuts this great.
It was later.
Great
it's later,
promo.
But
okay, but yeah, he cut a really good promo about how and then Moxley's response was great. So I'm happy to look forward to that now. This is when we get Cody coming out. Actually, you're right. So Cody comes out and
I need my point across. I don't
Cody's
feel I need my point across. Please bring.
Well, here it is.
Wanting to be a franchise player by beating a franchise player. But here's what we don't do. We don't kick a 62-year-old man in the face where he can't get up. That's what we don't do.
I like that part. I like when he goes, that's what we don't do. I like that part.
Obviously. That's what we damn don't do.
That's what we damn don't do. I feel like this is something I would have said, so I like it. I like, here's what we don't do. I believe him.
It's believable. He's pissed off because his friend, mentor, and all around a great guy, Arn, was attacked, blindsided.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, by a debuting new, and he's like, I understand you coming after the top guy, but what do you get out of hurting him? And for that, I'm going to call you out. So he goes to the ring and he calls him out. And then Malachi Black has this pretty cool promo going on live. He's talking back and forth. And everything he said, I thought it was a great story I thought at first
I actually didn't like it that much, but I thought of Drew McIntyre. I'm like, oh my God, he's cutting one of the Drew McIntyre promos.
Here's the thing with it. I didn't like it at first, and then I loved it because I thought he was talking about Cody at first originally. And I'm like, oh God, they all say the same thing. You're not the same guy. We got to bring the old Cody back. We got to get the monster out of you. We got to make you bad.
Well, I thought he was cutting a classic old yeller. I'll put you out to pasture. So I was like, all right, why is he doing that?
Same thing. But the way that he turned it to say that, I saw Arn Anderson, I saw the look in his eyes, and that's it. There, he wasn't there anymore. And the way he delivered it, and and then he's like, I hope, Cody's like, bring your ass out here, and he's like, I hope you'd say that. And bam, there he is.
That was some
quick lights out.
That was some great superhero type of shit that we saw at the ending part of it. So that I liked. It was like, well, first Cody's promo was great. Then he came to the ring and started talking, and I'm like, all right, it's not as good now. And then Black's promo I thought was all right, but okay, what's happening? And then when he said I'm coming out there, I'm like, oh man, another time, Jake, where I thought, oh, we're just gonna get this classic, we can't put them together right now thing, and he's gonna talk to the video screen. And then when he comes out, so then they got me excited, and the fight
exactly
was
my
whatever.
point. It started off, didn't care for it, continually got better. Not so much with this, but I didn't care for the story initially that he was telling, and then it got better. I loved Cody right off the start. He was so passionate, which we don't get enough from him.
Yeah,
and I kind of think that was the thing of tonight. It was good from the start, but it always built up. It got better gradually, and that was important. So this was one of my favorite things from the night, just with how great the audience reacted to the pull apart brawl. Malachi looks totally possessed, incensed, enraged, insane, whatever you want to say. He's a psychopath. It's great. And I don't want them to go supernatural with it. The lights out thing is not supernatural. You can have a light guy turn the lights out and let you appear in the ring. Like, that's something I can believe. He's just doing it as a distraction option. But if he starts, pulling off fiend stuff, and I hope they don't go there with him. I hope they keep it somewhat grounded. Just have him be a mental patient escaped as they did in the vignette that he created. So,
you know what they should also do is say that maybe there's a reason why he was let go from WWE. Not say WWE necessarily, but say like, there's a reason why he's not somewhere else anymore. And Cody goes, I got a call the other day and I found out, or like Tony Khan says, well, Cody, I signed him. I mean, he was a hot commodity coming out of where he came from. Everybody knows, everybody's been waiting for this. And Cody's like, no. Like, you know, Tony, like, you don't, like, I talked to somebody, like, who knows him from over there, and you don't know why he was let go. And Tony's like, what are you talking about? He's like, did you already sign this contract? And Tony's like, yeah, I signed him to a deal. And, the whole thing is
it's
that
great. It's ironclad. He's ours for, a long time.
And the
then
whole,
you could be like, what are you?
Yeah, the story goes that he was doing crazy shit to people and stuff was going on, and they let him go because he's nuts. And he failed.
See, that kind of fits a bit with the story they were telling, but it kind of impedes on what they're doing too. I like that idea. But apparently what they were trying to go with, at least the way I took it and some of the other people in the internet have as well, is that, Alistair was in a mental facility this time for 5 years. Instead of being in WWE, the story that he's trying to tell is that, the eye injury was real, because he fought with another inmate, but he's basically been locked up in a mental asylum for 5 years. So instead of being in WWE, that's close enough to a mental asylum.
Isn't that what he's really saying, though, is that he was in WWE?
Well, that's the allegory of it all. That's what he's alluding to. But everything he said in there and talked about the eye injury, and then they said how this isn't real, that's not real. Your name isn't out. He's like, no, I know my name. Like, because he's talking about them changing your names, kind of like taking away your identity. There's so many levels to it, but still they're trying to on the surface.
Which by the way,
he's crazy.
Are we going to is that going to be criticized? Because I mean, that's like the Rusev. It's not on the nose like Rusev being like the glass ceiling, fucking Vince McMahon, the brass ring. He goes there. Everybody goes there, even in some way. So even Black is going there in a weird.
I think he's doing more storytelling, and you can just relate it to WWE. I can certainly see the direct comparison, but as were Brody Lee when he came in, I wasn't like overly crazy.
Yeah,
the
he
very
did it too.
Beginning was good, but then he did the Vince McMahon isms where nobody could sneeze, and John Silver was getting yelled at because he talked first, or weird things, and oh, you're gonna sneeze in front of me, I'll beat you. It was just awkward. It was funny for the first bit, but then it got old quick.
It would have been funny on Being the Elite, like that.
Well,
part.
that's when it worked, and that's what got them so just in the hearts of fans, because Brody was so damn funny, and the Dark Order. I mean, they are comedy, guys, and it just worked very well with them together. With him being so straight, and he wouldn't break most times. Very few times did you see him, really, really break character. So he would scream and yell at them, and they would just cackle and laugh. And what are you laughing about? And it just made it so funny.
Yeah.
But he even came in with the Vinceism. So did Rusev, and thankfully in AEW itself, it was only on his Instagram. So far they haven't done that. So that's why I'm saying I don't know what AEW necessarily is going with the story, but they still have his eye injured. He's got the contact and the makeup to showing like the bruise around his eye. So a lot of that is still kayfabe, I guess, for Malachi Black. I'm just not sure what they're including and how far they're going with it. We'll find out, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it was good. That was good too. Good segment.
And I like the theme song that you presented for him on Twitter. That was a great choice.
Yeah, I don't know.
He put out some metal music which sounded like a lesser Cradle of Filth. He said that was supposed to be his entrance music, but I didn't care for it. It didn't really fit to me.
Well,
it was very long, and I don't know.
Well, I think that
the one you chose was perfect.
He likes he likes death metal stuff and Norwegian black metal, I believe, and stuff like that, which is great. I love that too. But I was trying to find something that fit in a somewhat way like his old stuff did, and this is sort of what I came up with real quick. A quick listen, but you can hear it on Twitter if you guys want to go see it. It's okay over there. It's very dreary. And I'm not saying this is it, but something like this for Aleister Black. I'm into all this stuff and what music can be. And yeah, death metal could work, black metal, sure, it can all work, but something about this sort of mystique. I'm really into people's music and how it affects them. I think this has the pacing of him, but you could go like death metal and like you know, and when he's gonna do something crazy or something, I get that. He likes black metal, probably Norwegian death metal, things like that. I do too. So again, I like all that stuff, and I seem to like some of the metal he likes. So I'm sure that will be fine too. But it was just something I found and something I thought worked. Certainly worked better than WWE's second theme that they used for him. And they probably could have gone to this band that created that song and said, hey, we'll give you $5,000. Give us that song forever. And they probably would have been like, oh, shit, WWE, wow, WWE, oh, my God, they want to buy our song, you know, but...
This wasn't a typical Fyter Fest, more of a glorious AEW Dynamite show.
Yes.
It was fanatic but felt like a televised show.
No, I mean, it is a televised show. This isn't really a pay-per-view. The confusion of that is ridiculous. You know, basically, this was it was like, it was a more thought-out TV episode of Dynamite, but they call it Fyter Fest. I mean, you could have called it Dynamite. You could have called it Fyter Fest. You could have called it fucking Rampage or whatever the new thing is. Whatever. The bottom line is the night of wrestling that we saw here tonight was certainly better than, man, this beat every Raw, every SmackDown, probably everything for the whole year. I mean, this is one of those nights where, yeah, I'm not going to bury AEW at all. This is great.
Did you just donate to Joe?
Oh, shit.
Thank you for the donation.
Alabama.
And because you donated, I'm going to feast myself.
Oh, and thank you, Firebird, as well.
In the bunghole.
Firebird, previous dono. Ooh.
Wow, really enjoyed tonight's show. Crowd really helped keep the feel-good momentum going. Next week should be good. But my question is, since I watch on TNT app Live, do I count as a rating or not?
Yeah,
yes.
They factor those in, yeah.
They factor a lot of things in. I don't know if you count for the Nielsen ratings, but the overall ratings, yeah.
Yeah, when you see them come out, I believe, when you see like Alvarez tweet out what he got for the rating, I think that's the generic overall high rating. That's not just Nielsen rating. I'm pretty sure when they say rating, that's everything included. I think if you're only, I don't
know if they do I thought that was just cable, not internet.
It yeah, it might. You're right. I might be wrong. I might be the other way. It might be that might only be the Nielsen rating. You're right. I might be wrong. In fact, I think I am wrong now I think about it, because otherwise, well, yeah, because they don't count WWE. Do they count Hulu numbers? I don't think they count Hulu numbers. Maybe.
Okay, here's this really quick. Currently, Nielsen Company is just figuring out how to measure the online audience for TV shows. It says that with the invention of online streaming, TV ratings have changed, obviously. So the traditional measurement of viewership was just selecting a group of households that's a representative of the U.S. as a whole, and they would meter that. So if 10% of their million selected viewers watched that, then they would say that 10% of Americans watched it, because they would use just that selection of their audience for the Nielsen ratings.
Yeah.
But because ratings and advertisement are the huge determining factors in what's successful, they tried to find a new way to measure both. So it doesn't really give me an answer on that article. Thank you very much. But I'm looking, do TV ratings. It says the main provider of TV ratings is Nielsen, which it says will provide data and insights into. No, I don't see it. It's expanding their streaming measurement. So they're counting. The main provider of TV ratings says it will provide data and insights into how much time viewers spends on a variety of streaming services, but no, it's only counting for TV ratings, just TV ratings.
And DVRs do count, but that's it.
DVRs do count, but the new service comes as Nielsen estimates streaming now makes up a quarter of total TV usage in the United States. It was 18% a year ago, so the pandemic certainly moved that up.
Yeah.
Netflix alone counts for 7% of all TV time in the United States.
Netflix 7%. I feel like it's more than that, but
When you figure that's every single channel, local channel, DVR thing, like out of everything anybody's watching at any point in time, 7% of all Americans at a minimum are watching Netflix.
yeah, I mean I guess that's pretty good. I thought it was more though, but that's pretty good. I mean,
Globally they've amassed 210 million subscribers, so
like,
that's
yeah, I guess it makes sense because there's still a couple 200 probably 200 million Americans still with cable TV, so
that's the thing. There's a big contingent of people with cable, not with internet, and internet's not high streaming. Internet is still not available everywhere.
Well, it's probably a lot of people who have internet and don't have cable at all, but they have internet.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of the opposite, too. So, like in rural areas, it's cable, not internet, and then in cities, it's internet, not cable. So it depends on where you are.
My mom just moved right into her new house, and I've been moving her, and I'll be there this week too again, but. I'm just a town over from my mom now, where she moved into a new house, and she's in the boonies. Like I'm in the boonies kind of, but she's below me in another more rural area. And dude, we get fucking 600 upload and 600 download here, which is amazing. She gets 200 download and 5 upload, and I was like, wow.
And even the 200 download people would kill for.
There's people, and I called Verizon. She didn't end up getting Verizon. She got something else because the Verizon people were like, oh, we have satellite internet. And
satellite.
I'm like, dude, wait a minute. I'm like, why are you doing satellite? There's regular cable around here. And the guy was like, everybody has satellite. And I'm like, they do? So I called somebody else, and they were like, no. And then, I was like, all right. Because you can't play video games well on satellite. But But no, so there's other people in rural areas. Yeah, they get a 3 upload and an 11 download.
I have people on Twitter that I talk to. And I mean, one guy just in the outskirts of Ohio is barely a megabyte up. And like 0.3 down, something like that. It's crazy, but
wow,
and that's super expensive.
You're not doing anything with that. I mean, there's no,
they can't watch YouTube, but they can't. It's barely able to load anything. So you're just reading.
You can send
Twitter
an email. And send Twitter and oh my god.
If you turn off GIFs and auto load for the images,
what that guy should do is that guy should get satellite internet because.
I don't even think it was available at that time. That is a good suggestion.
But now you can order it. Now you can just order it. You can literally order a fucking satellite.
Yeah, because you can get it from anywhere. That was the glory about satellite radio, because a friend of mine was a truck driver and used to drive him nuts, and that worked out
Starlink will fix that, right, for anybody, right? Like, so if you're just anybody, you can be like, oh, I'm going to get Starlink. And for $60 a month, you can buy a hub, and the hub will connect to Starlink.
And just use that.
I believe
it is expensive because there's plans. I mean, there's gigs and things like that you have to get. But that's the problem nowadays, is that so many streaming services use such a high bandwidth, and all of these services are coming now with data caps. So
yeah,
it's a problem. Comcast is not enforcing it yet, but we've gotten emails saying, oh, you're over your data limit. We use like 900 gigs in a month. You wonder why, because you're streaming all this stuff. And then on top of it, just, uploading to you, Discord, YouTube, it takes up a lot. Gaming, all that kind of stuff. So.
Right. Well, that shit's crazy. I mean,
but it looks like they're not counting internet streams yet. So they're working on considering how to count it, but it's not fully. They're counting Netflix as its own and streams as its own, but they're not incorporating it into the Nielsen number.
Right.
Makes sense at this point. Eventually they want to, but.
Yeah, eventually and there should be some other number. Like there should be like internet number or on-stream viewer numbers, something else that they can probably come up with. That'd be nice.
Shit bum.
Absolutely.
The little noodleater one with the Jap splash, and I saw wrestling Mexican Jesus wonder if he would buy my bullfag fuck my ass shirts on 69.com. I saw the green JCS sign.
Oh, you did, AJ Adams? Yeah, nice. So yeah, a few people did see the sign. AJ Adams, thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum. AJ Adams, that's me crushing your heart. I don't know why. I love you, brother. Thanks for the $5. Man, look at that bum on the screen. Look at that boom boom. Yeah, man, what a great night of AEW. This was so nice, bro. I'm gonna watch that. Shit, I'm gonna watch that Coffin match again because I want to see that Coffin drop again. I love it. Thank you, AEW, for making me feel happy.
You donated
oh, shit.
$50. I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50. Motherfucker, I'm a rich motherfucker.
Enjoy the fuck out of that show tonight. 8/10 even Jesus loves AEW.
Oh, the children Jesus loves.
Well, he struck down Floyd's brick wall. Why didn't he strike down... I mean, Shell, thank you for the $50.
Thank you, Shell. Hopefully you're feeling well. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but you sure are swell.
And she's the queen of Monetize This, too.
I know. So we'll wait till Saturday to see who wins, but hell yeah, Shell.
Man.
It was something. And I'd sent you the picture. I got gas today, but I couldn't stop laughing. I had to grab a receipt from it because I got 6.669 gallons exactly, just not realizing it.
Yeah.
So I was laughing because it was, 6669. And then Danny just looks at me. She's like, what? Never mind. But I was like, oh, I got to show that to Joe.
That's funny.
Granted, but it's kind of, just one of those things where I'm seeing everybody, she gave it a great rating. And she's pretty much lines up with us most times, maybe a point off, but everybody enjoyed tonight. Like you said, if you look at the poll that you have there, so many people enjoyed AEW tonight, rightfully so.
Right. Absolutely, man. Everybody really did. They really liked it. I loved it. Just so happy about it. What's this? What is this belt that everybody's tweeting me?
Yeah, I was looking at that as well. I think they're just different designs that people are putting out for different things. I don't know if it's anything that they're commissioning. I got to look into it more, but this is going through Belts by Dan. I believe he makes them custom and you can order them, I believe, from him. So I believe this is one that he's making a version of his own TNT title. It looks pretty interesting.
I'm assuming he got the licensing or something from AEW.
Yeah, because he had a NWO title, years ago that he just tweeted out again a few days ago. Yeah, but he made that one ages ago. NWO for Life, Too Sweet, and it looks awesome.
I think this looks awesome. Yeah, I like this. I mean, I like the TNT belt anyway, but I mean, this looks great. I like it. I think it would look good. That should be the women's title or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know,
with that kind of green to it. I mean, the women's title would have a nice look, because they made it a little bit larger. They changed the patina and all that, so I like that too. But
it still looks like something weird. I don't know, but this looks really good. I don't know. I like a white strap on one of the belts. I always like the white strap, and it works well with women, but I don't know, it works well with anybody, men, women, whatever.
Yeah, that's why the IC belt you like so much with that white, because it just has a classic clean look.
Jesus, the Rose just sent me his internet fucking speed.
Yeah, he's at 471 and 12. So
he doxed himself, but no. 471 download, 12 upload. Wow, I'm at 600 download, 600 upload. But where I used to live, where I used to do this show from all the time, it was always a 200 download and an 11 upload, which was way worse. I mean, dude, I can upload videos. You
were doing bad for a while because you would just have issues where we had to contact your internet provider, and remember it was like coming from the lines and stuff.
Yeah, remember I had all the problems. I have almost zero problems here for the last 3 years that I've moved here. Yeah. Where I used to live, it was like every 6 months I had to call Comcast, and they were like, "Yup, the wire's fucked up again," and they'd have to
Verizon
fix something.
First, then Comcast again, and it was like you had to go back and forth and back.
No, I never had Verizon.
Oh, you had some other company besides Comcast?
No, because it's just I basically I changed the service around a bunch, and they had to come out here and keep doing things.
Maybe that's what I'm just thinking of.
No.
Oh, I remember all the time you had line problems, and they had to actually investigate the line coming from the house.
It was always
like a hotline, and it wasn't sending enough of a speed.
Well, the guy would say, "Nah, man, the line." No, what happened was it would fry the line like within a year or 6 months, the line would get fried from however the pole worked with the static. And I go, dude, go outside and pull the wire out, cut it, and look at it. And he'd be like, I don't know why this has happened. I don't know what's going on. And they would go out and they cut it. Sure enough, look at the wire, and the wire would be black. So some kind of shock.
Burnt to shit.
Yeah, and then the guy wouldn't ground it. Finally, one guy grounded it the right way, but it still would happen.
They call that, I don't know, but at least the technician I had here, they called it like a hotline. Because it's a hot wire. And we had the same one coming from our house. And ever since they fixed it, I'm at 210 down and 5 up. But before, I had 5 and 5. I couldn't get the download speed to go up. And that was with, it just wouldn't change. So They had to come in through, run new lines, and run a splitter with like a power coupling to actually get it to increase its strength.
That is actually, that's the new belt. That's actually the new belt for Miro.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's legitimately the new belt for Miro, so it's real.
That's the only thing I didn't see tonight was Miro's promo, so that would be why. I
didn't
heard it from the other room, but I didn't see it.
I heard it too, but I didn't see the belt. Did he have the belt with him, or did I just miss that? Someone else?
I did not see it, but that is if that is his, I like the green look. It fits. I love the white. I mean, it's a beautiful belt.
Suck on that, Ted DiBiase. That green
yeah,
and
no
gold.
doubt. And whatever the plates say, I just like the look of them. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good shit.
It's got to have something to do with him. And
you become a shit. Must be that Bulgarian green.
I want to give Jake a golden shower.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Jake, Casey is Raw wants to give you a golden shower, Jake.
Ooh, again? Casey?
Casey is racist. Thank you, Casey is racist.
I thought it was once a day, Casey. I didn't know you had that much output. But
well, I don't understand. And listen, I do appreciate the donation. Absolutely appreciate the donation. But why is Casey so racist?
Big green cock.
Listen to this.
Big green cock.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not. Oh, I was looking for something else.
That's when he was talking about aliens. Yeah.
Mexican has a wetback.
Oh,
Casey.
What the hell? Listen to that. Listen.
Mexican has a wetback.
Oh. Dude, what is wrong with him?
Yikes.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Casey is racist? Why would you say that?
But
you have a big hairy back.
That, he's all elite. That's right, Soundwave. Once Tony Khan heard that, Casey is Raw, is now all elite.
I mean, bro, listen to this.
The black kid got. I just know the black kid got arrested for something. You know,
just help me here.
Why did the black kid get arrested, Casey?
For doing black things, you know.
Doing what?
Wow. I mean,
yikes. I mean,
whoa. I mean, listen, Kate. Wow, bro. I mean, you can't even defend that at this point. You know, like.
I think I understand the green dick comment too. I don't know if he explained it to you, but he told me that when he buys the services of the lady of the night that he chooses, in order to pay them at the end, he actually wraps his dick in the money that he's going to pay them with and then forces that inside their asshole and then pulls out and leaves the money. So that's how he tips them.
Good Christ, Jake. What the hell's
I
wrong
know.
with you?
That's what Casey was telling me about. That's the green cock. That's what that is. So that's you didn't know. I had to.
Did you hear when I had Casey on the show the other day and I said, "Can you describe to me what is doing black things? Can you tell me
we were
what
trying to
that
get
means?"
him to come out with that on Saturday, I believe it was.
Yeah, and he really had no answer.
I think it was Monetize This, I believe. I know it was one of the two nights. And yeah, he didn't really defend himself.
We asked him on Monetize This. Casey.
Yes, it was Monetize This. Okay, it was after the fight.
Yeah, what is doing black things? And he basically was like, I don't know. I was tired when I said that. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? You said doing black things. What does that mean? I don't know. I was on sleeping pills.
Yeah,
and we said
he took the Rosie O'Donnell out.
The white people excuse.
Or, no,
I was on
Roseanne,
sleeping pills.
Roseanne, excuse me, not Rosie. Roseanne.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a whole bunch of people, Jake. Whenever someone says something racist or when someone says something, even if it's not racist, even if it's just questionable, it's always like, I don't know, I was taking sleeping pills or something. I don't know. It's always fucking sleeping pills.
I was not in my right frame of mind. I was tired. I took my sleeping meds, and then all of a sudden, I hated black people. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. He was doing black things. What black things was he doing? I don't know. I was on sleeping pills. Oh yeah. Well, explain explain that comment then. Like, you know. Yeah, Casey is racist. That's the new nickname, everybody. Cheers to Casey is racist. We're gonna toast him for that. Amazing stuff from Casey.
Top dogs. Soundwave and
He's
show.
so sweet, though, that even all my black listeners and all my Hispanic listeners, they all just said, he's funny. Who cares? They just love him so much. He can literally, this guy can't be canceled.
I don't think he can be. I think he could probably murder a classroom full of kindergartners and still find a way out of it.
What the fuck?
Well, he had plans, but we helped talk him out of it. So,
good God.
Casey's, he's got a lot of issues, I'm telling you. You got to keep an eye on him.
You guys are, oh my God, Jake.
That's why I keep checking in with him daily.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
I have to get off in a couple seconds. I
bet.
Duncachino.
Bet you do.
Don't mind if I do.
There he is again. Casey is racist, donating again.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello
Ridiculous.
to my chocolate blend.
I believe that black kid got arrested for doing black things.
Oh, now he's donating it. Now he's really being brazen.
Oh wow.
What a piece of shit.
Tempting fate here.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm doing. You know what? I'm doing white things now. Like, I mean, look at how I dress now with these fucking polo shirts. I mean, I'm doing golf things.
Looking official.
I am. I don't know why. Look at that. I just want. Please tell me, where is this Dunkin' Donuts Al Pacino shirt? I mean, who walked away with this after wardrobe of that movie?
I bet you he kept it just to constantly feel the shame.
Shit bum. Stare at it in the closet.
I give the AU a 7.5 out of 10 tonight. Pretty damn good show.
Oh, Harry,
a lot of
Steve.
good advancement of storyline and good matches. NXT I give a 7.75 out of 10, slightly better. Samoa Joe looks to be all S-Cross at TakeOver SummerSlam.
Are you going to review NXT again, Joe? Harry, Steve, good to hear from you, Harry, Steve. Thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum. Much appreciated. No, probably not, because NXT draws about as much of a crowd as a hepatitis rape.
If you want to listen to NXT reviews, go check out Spaz Phoenix.
Yeah, Spaz.
He's a regular supporter of the show here, and I join him every now and again. Typically on Thursdays. He puts it out Fridays, so it works out.
Speaking of Thursday, tomorrow night, we're on Patreon.
That's right.
AEW was gold tonight, 9/10.
Ryan the Heel, baby.
Ryan the Heel chiming in. He's right, 9/10. I mean, I've seen some great scores from people, and even Spaz, who is the NXT guy, had enjoyed tonight.
Wow.
He wasn't crazy about the Kenny Omega Hangman promo, and he does have a point. We'll get to that in a minute. But he was really behind the hot, Aleister Black, Cody brawl, and a few other things. So he made a good point, and I don't want to get too far because we're almost at that spot now. So we finished the Taz match, and then last week we had Conan getting attacked. So now Tully's backstage, and you go ahead and you see him saying it wasn't a cheap shot. He's taking care of business. So there it comes, proud and powerful Santana Ortiz. And they're like, you're brave for walking around alone, So all of a sudden they grab him and they take out a crowbar. They go to hit him with it and they tap him. And they're like, it's fake. Next time it won't be. And he kind of scurries off. So kind of, a good promo from those two. It was intimidating, yet it wasn't. They scared Tully, so they made him look like a bitch in a sense, and keeps the feud going. Worked well. Thumbs up.
Yeah,
next we get to the part we wanted to get to. So Hangman Adam Page is out there in the ring. Huge reaction as he comes out. Crowd is loving it up. And Spaz's comment is that, and I can see why. He said Hangman kind of has that Cena delivery. And so did Kyle O'Reilly last night. Kyle's promo was greatly disappointing last night. He just, it was so bland and robotic. It was not good whatsoever.
I'm not a big Hangman Page fan myself. I've always said
I
that.
like him in ring. I've never been crazy about him on the mic. He is okay acting.
Believe it or not,
he's a decent actor. He's good on when they did the BTE things. He was good at looking sad and sullen. But I've never been crazy about his promos. And he's not a strong promo guy, but he didn't need to be. And tonight worked, but it was really because of everybody else. So thankfully they saved Hangman, I feel, on the mic, but because there was so much energy and crowd response and the Dark Order being there and now the 5-on-5 match that's going to happen, there was so much excitement that it didn't matter. But I do get the point that, Kenny was, he's like, Spaz had said to me earlier, what's the exact quote? He's like, I'm a little bit behind, but I got to say it's been good tonight. Kenny and Page is cringe, and I know that's a crime to say, but the crowd pop for Cody and Black Brawl was hot and unreal. So I agree with him there. He's like, Hangman is really kind of Cena in this promo, and I can see what he's saying. Like, he's trying to appeal to the crowd, but he just doesn't always feel fully believable. And he did decent tonight, but I would have liked to have seen more out of him in the sense of emotion. He still kind of felt wooden. A little bit stiff. So Kenny makes a point here saying that, you want.
I'm not leaving without one, and quite frankly, neither are you.
Yeah, I that was good, but most of it before then was just kind of I don't know. It had that Cena feel to me.
I was just playing the promo. I don't know. I agree or not agree.
That line was good though, but
that's just how the video started. I don't even know.
No, but honestly, that line was good. So we go ahead and he's out there. Hangman's talking about how he's been wanting to be champion since day one. He had it in his fingertips. He failed. And he said the Dark Order was right, but he still needs that championship. And I'm there to challenge. And he gets interrupted. Don Callis comes out and he said, Cowboys talking, but in Texas, they call that all hat, no cattle. Funny line. And now everybody comes out and telling him he's not the guy. And Matt Jackson eventually gets in the ring and says, we were your friends and you abandoned us. And I can tell by your breath that you're still hitting the bottle hard. And that, it fits everything perfectly with you because you're going to be the next wrestling tragedy. Damn, what a line. That was harsh, especially after, everybody's got that recently updated mindset of the China documentary and Dark Side of the Ring. And it is a very, good line there. So Matt says, I dare you to hit me. And he obliges. So Page starts to kick his ass, and it's funny. And then they're all going to go ahead and come in, and Page keeps them all out of the ring. But then Kenny's behind him with the title. He's going to hit him. He lines up. He's marching and prancing and, hopping around. And then, Dark Order gets the save. And I like this because there wasn't music. There wasn't any type of showmanship about it. They ran to the ring to save their friend.
This is the first time I cared about Dark Order and him. I was like, I got pumped up for it because of the crowd and because of the moment. They did the right thing.
Exactly. And now there's something in it for Dark Order as well with the tag title shot.
I love cowboy shit, though. That's the thing that's over. I love saying cowboy shit. I love that.
I do as well, and it's fun. And so, we get that. And I just got done griping about this the other day with Sheamus on Raw. Sheamus is about to break Humberto's nose, and then he stops because he hears Damian Priest's music. Kenny never stopped to swing here. He just got, stopped by the people running in the ring. That's how it should be. Don't play Dark Order's music and have all of them look to the ramp and wait. They just ran out for the save.
Right.
So logical. They wanted to save their friends. They did. Perfect. Makes so much sense. Like I said, tonight was just logical, and it felt good to not have to question everything. So finally, they're bickering back and forth on the outside, and Kenny says, I'm coming in. Everybody back up. I got to talk to my old partner. I like that. I like that Kenny was brave enough to get into his face. So he shows no respect to Dark Order. He doesn't fear them. He's not, it says so much more with just him stepping in the ring there. Of course, he's got his group behind him, so he's not, completely outnumbered or anything. But it's the point that he still had the balls to get in the ring and face him because he looks down on every one of them. He looks down on everybody, and it's just more character development.
Right.
So he says, I get a world title shot if we win this 5-on-5 Survivor Series style elimination match. I'm really excited because I anytime you have these 4-on-4 plus whatever number matches, I like it if it's elimination. It just makes so much more sense. When you have 5-on-5 and then you pin one person and they're out and it's like, the whole, now it keeps going. It builds up tension. It builds up drama. And usually you can tell a pretty convincing story. As where one pinfall with the two teams, it's over, and it usually feels like somebody doesn't get enough time or slighted. This being, elimination usually gets a chance. Obviously, it has to be everybody gets some, their time in the ring. So I feel like that often makes it a bit more intriguing to me anyways, personally.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. I thought that whole segment was fine.
So we got more cowboy shit, and like we said, you're not it's just you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but you don't fail either, and that's what you're afraid of. Another great line. The belt collector line was good because it did what it needed to do. You clawed that out before, and I give you so much credit for that because I didn't pick up on that. I was kind of like, oh, that's a cheesy line, but you made a great point. He had to be cheesy so the crowd didn't cheer the heels because they did that a lot tonight, and that's dangerous.
Right. So I thought that in my head, like, oh my God, that was so bad. It was great. Because otherwise, people
usually they don't have this kind of foresight, and
Yep.
Yeah, it just, I admit I was wrong last week. I was wrong twice. I went ahead and I didn't honestly feel that they would have the ability to turn out the lights in the Cody match just to go ahead and tease a surprise later on. I was like, oh, it must have been a technical thing because I just couldn't give them credit. Now, it was Tommy and Aleister Black, Malachi's idea. So that makes sense. He presented with them with all of this. They took it and ran with it, and he got it done in a couple weeks. And he suggested the blackout. He actually wanted to do it another time, too. And I was like, oh, that, so they built up to it. I was wrong. I was also wrong because I thought Cross was going to lose the belt last night. He didn't to, Gargano, as I thought would happen. But they are still building towards Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross, unless provoked, which was good. So,
right.
But I was wrong about both of those, admittedly so. But I'm glad to be wrong because we got so much better out of both of them.
Yeah, it was great, and I thought it just hit me that I thought that was the case. Last week I just felt like it, and it made sense with Cody and whatever. But it was a great. But that's what I mean. That's why it was so good that it fooled a lot of people, and a lot of people also didn't know. And with the hurricanes going on, I mean, it was just and whether that was on purpose or not, it ended up making them seem smart, even if it wasn't anything. It was just coincidence. So good on that, for whatever reason, last week. And that was a lot of fun. And by the way, guys, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Go to the Patreon tonight. Make sure you jump on there so that you guys can be a part of Out of Nowhere tomorrow night on the Patreon. And just real quick, also want to shout out the fact that, not only did, is Cody in the 100 spot, Mr. Cody Mastro, Nikki J, and Sith Negan, who's been there for so long. We got to shout out Jason Tarr. Jason Tarr has returned to the $25 Patreon producer spot. Thank you, Jason, for going to the producer spot again, man. That is friggin' awesome. Good to see you back. Logan Harrison went to the $10 VIP. And Weatherwalks is back in the $5 spot. Thank you, sir. New Japan Wrestling fan back in the $5 Cronin Club. And I believe John Zippe. Also, John Zippe back in the $25 spot as well, and Frost in the $2. So thank you guys for coming back on the Patreon. And you will get Out of Nowhere and all the wrestling news and the show tomorrow night on Patreon, 10 p.m. And we'll see you there.
That's right. For the less than a price of a cup of coffee, you can go ahead and join Joe and I as we go ahead and discuss what's going to happen this weekend with Slammiversary. Who's going to debut out of the wrestlers that were let go from WWE? Anybody? Are we going to see new additions? They've been teasing every release under the sun. So what's possible, what isn't, and what might happen? We won't give direct spoilers, but we certainly have some news there. We're going to talk about Kenny Omega's match against Sami Callihan. That's obviously going to main event the Slammiversary pay-per-view this Saturday. That's no DQ for the Impact World Championship. A bunch of other really great matches on there. We still have Deonna Purrazzo, the women's champion for Impact Knockouts, who is facing to be announced. So is that somebody, coming back? Is that a new person entirely? We'll find out. We're also going to be going over Money in the Bank predictions. So you're going to want to know what we think. That's right. It'll be fun. We'll be taking comments from you guys as well. Plus a bunch more news about, people returning, all hands on deck. What other stars have been, kind of hit up to make a return as well. Besides the obvious people you're thinking of, we might have some names for you that might be surprising for who WWE is reaching out to bring back to the live tour. So a lot of news, a lot of good stuff to go over, predictions as well. Don't miss it. Like we said, $2 on Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show.
Whoa, that scared the hell out of me.
Me too.
Something started playing in the background. But yeah.
Everybody's predicting Mickie James. It could be, they certainly alluded to it with her having the trash bag with her name on it, funny enough, but that might just be a ruse. So we'll see. We'll talk about it. Like I said, less than a blowjob from Casey is Raw or less than a cup of coffee at Dunkin'. You can go ahead and join us tomorrow night live, 10 p.m. Eastern on Patreon.
There's so much we missed so far, but we got to talk about that Jericho thing. That chair shot to Jericho's throat was amazing.
That's next.
Oh,
so perfect. Marvez is back, and he's talking to Jericho, and Jericho is actually really had a great rebuttal because he's like, "Oh, you're speaking about Greek mythology, but do you not remember the ending of the story? Hercules completes his trials and gets what he wants. I'm the god of thunder. I'm the god of war, and I would walk through fire or broken glass. I would walk through." And that's when he got hit in the throat with the chair.
The shot it's one of the best shots. Like I couldn't believe it. Where's the clip of that? Do we have the?
I hope we have a GIF or something, because immediately you messaged me. It was like, what a shot. That was such a great choke.
Like, oh my God, dude, that looked. I mean, I saw someone was coming and he was going to get hit probably, but.
I'm the perfect guy for it, because I am the god of thunder, and I am the god of war, and AEW.
And the way they hold his head, tell him to pay attention, listen up to.
I haven't seen you since you cheap shot at me last week.
Dude, that was great. I loved that. Another
MJF is a scumbag. He's of course going to go ahead and not want to get his hands dirty directly. He doesn't want a chance at risking getting hurt. So
yeah,
again, he comes in there after the mess has been cleaned up for him, and he's I haven't seen you since you went ahead and and just his snarky, condescending tone makes him so much more of a bastard, and you want to see him get his comeuppance. So this helps sell more of the feud. Here's my thing: I'm sure I'll like it, but I was I guess confused. I thought Jericho's trials and tribulations were 5 matches in the same night.
Oh.
Maybe I'm the only one that took it that way, but the way they had sold it last week, I thought he had to face 5 people in the same night to get to MJF. I might just be an idiot, but the way MJF was explaining it, that's how I took it.
They didn't really say so, but
it wasn't clear to begin with, but the way they were leaning towards is like, I want you to face all these people, and then if you survive, you get to me. But him having 1 match a week isn't that big of a deal. I mean, it kind of takes away the urgency to it. Like in a way, I thought it was kind of ridiculous at first, because I was like, oh shit, if he's got to beat all 4 members of the Pinnacle and then get to MJF, they're really making Jericho look like a god and a superhero. But this isn't the case. So if he's just going to have 1 match a week, I feel like it doesn't have the same gravitas. It doesn't have that urgency, that sense of him needing to survive the odds. Because he can beat, somebody once a week, 1 match, and overcome those odds to get to MJF. And I know what they're doing. It'll cover each week, and it'll help, pass the time until they get to All Out, which is all well and good. But I really thought it was going to be like a gauntlet style with stipulations one after the other.
Yeah.
Now the stipulation is that Sean Spears can use a chair, but Jericho can't.
Yeah. So there's going to be they're going to be harsh stipulations. This is like turning the skulls on.
So that's
on
why
Halo.
it was going to be like a tournament style where he just one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then he's got to get through all these guys. So when he finally gets to the last, MJF, he's barely, pretty badly beaten. But oh my God, can he do it still? And I thought that's what they were going for, but I guess not. So. Either way, I imagine it'll still be good. I don't know where tomorrow is at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there you go, Thursday night.
I'm looking at it as I'm not even thinking that much into this one. Like I'm just like, entertain me. I don't care. How does it gonna entertain me?
Yeah, I'm still entertained, no doubt. I was just confused because Fozzie's on tour as well, so that makes sense. They stretch it out, no doubt. I just genuinely was a bit confused with how they built it, but it wasn't a bad thing by any means. I was just like, oh, that's how they're going with it. Okay. I certainly wish we could go on the Jericho cruise. They're starting their ticket packages again and selling things that weren't sold for 2020. And he's got even more guests. They're doing more for Dynamite. They're doing Family Feud, and looks like a lot of fun again. So it would be awesome to see that live. If only Jon Moxley can drive up on a jet ski, though.
Oh my God.
We had Matt Hardy.
I'm sorry. I just, as you were finishing that off, I looked over and saw a DM from somebody, and it says it's from Soundwave actually, and dude, it's a video on YouTube that has 5 million views. I can't believe it's even up anymore. Stone Cold Steve Autism. This is actually horrible. Like this is really bad. Stone Cold Steve Autism. Oh my God. Oh my God, Jake.
Yikes.
I can't even, dude.
It's amazing stuff that stays up sometimes, and especially with that many views.
I don't even know if I can show this on fucking YouTube, but they're on YouTube.
But it's on YouTube. That's the thing, right? Yeah. We can get in trouble for saying stuff that's on YouTube.
Oh my God, it's this guy. I can't believe I'm laughing at this. He's got obviously, he's got a thing. He's got extra chromosomes, and he's drinking 2 glass beers, and he smashes them together like Austin, and then he drinks glass.
Oh no.
And then later on, they show him in the pool punching people, like, and it's just, oh god, it's got 5 million views.
Yikes!
I didn't do it. I mean, I don't know, bro. Somebody sent this to me.
You know, when I just typed in Stone Cold, that was the first result that came up.
Oh my god, dude! It's got 5 million views on YouTube.
And did you see the channel name?
Mark Zuck. Oh god.
Oh god.
Holy shit!
Jesus. Bobby, stop. Bobby, stop.
Whoa!
Do not move.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with you? Laura, are you dumb? How are you laughing at this?
I'm blown away.
No, he didn't drink glass. Oh, he definitely drank some glass there.
Knock those together. No.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Bobby did not drink glass. He's asking me if I'm dumb for laughing. Oh, so someone's trying to like. They're already clearing it up. Like, okay, we're not laughing at somebody who's got Down syndrome, and
yeah, they're trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, Bobby did not drink glass. He's safe, so we're not making a joke of someone who's injured. He didn't drink glass. He's asking me if I'm dumb for laughing. That's true, because someone goes, "What are you, dumb?" And I'm like, Jesus, that's terrible to say to him. But you're right. It's
the only other video on the channel is called "When Your Mom Finds Your Skeet Blanket."
Hold on, watch this. Here it is.
So.
Please don't knock those together. No.
Holy shit!
Jesus. Bobby, stop. Bobby, stop.
Whoa!
Do not move.
Bobby, stop. Bobby, stop.
Do not move.
Do not move.
Laura, are you dumb? How are you laughing at this?
I'm blown away.
Go to glass.
Oh, look at the right hand, though. He's got a hell of a right. Look at this. Oh! My God! My God, what a shot! See, I think you can show the video. It's not a problem. I think it's the name of the video that's gonna get them that may not
gets
last.
Them mad.
Well,
like
that
I
may
said,
not
literally
last.
the only other video on the channel is "When Your Mom Finds Your Skeet
Jesus
Blanket."
Christ.
So she found his jizz rag.
Oh, really? Is he in that video too?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't think so.
When
Maybe
your
he's
mom
talking.
finds your
mom.
When your mom finds your skeet blanket. See, I think
Hell of a
I think
channel.
you can show the video. It's not a problem.
Oh my
I
god!
think it's the name of the video that's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh god, what is this gonna be?
But I think it's great that it comes up as the top
What's
search.
on that blanket?
I don't know.
Oh
You
my.
do know what's on there. What's on there?
Do you want me to say it out loud?
Yeah, I want you to say it out loud.
Probably cum.
Like, disgusting. Take care of it right now.
Oh god, this is horrible to watch.
I will, Mom. I didn't mean to come on the blanket.
Yeah, I want you to wash it right now.
Okay.
This can't be real.
You could just lick it because it was actually wet when I picked it up today to clean.
Ugh, what? This can't be real. No mom does this. They would just be like, ugh, and throw it in and clean it. That's what they would do. That's what a mom does. She goes, oh, God, throws it in the washer, like, with gloves on and goes, ugh, boys are gross. And then, like,
Yeah, or she picks it up with tongs as it's completely stiff.
Yeah. No mother goes lick it or clean it. Like, what the fuck? I mean, is this the beginning
she
of
could be so sick of him. I mean, it is a Christmas blanket. It looks like a Christmas decorative blanket. So
Yeah.
maybe he's coming all over the house and she's just sick of it.
He should have said it's snow. It's because it's a Christmas blanket. But it's snow.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
snow.
made snow.
I
made my own snow. That's it. It's a
I have
Christmas
to get
miracle,
off in a couple
Mom.
seconds.
I made my own snow. I made a snowman.
Thankfully, he's not begging his mom to catch snowflakes on her tongue because that would turn this video real.
I made a
quick.
snowman or woman. I don't know what they
A
are.
snow person.
I have to get off in a couple seconds.
Oh,
Well,
that would be
actually,
how it ended.
I think all the sperm are all one sex to begin with, right? Something has to happen later. So technically, you know what you
believe so.
made, right? Is it? I think it's.
I thought it was all. Everyone's a female.
Female.
Becomes
Everyone's
male.
female. Yeah, it has to become a male. So this technically all the sperm are female. So he knows he made a girl. I think that's
should be. I don't recall who said it in the chat or Twitter before. I got to double check. I hate not giving credit, but it was Julius Wright. He said, "Imagine if Malachi shows up at Cody's house holding their baby."
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, things like that. God. I wonder how deep they would go
in a rocking chair with the baby.
I mean, they kind of did that with the Feud but not really. He wasn't in the house. He was just leaving the puppets around and gifts. But still, that kind of stuff. And then it really worked well with Wendy, that kind of thing, and all that with Samoa Joe. That was
I ate your cum. I ate your cum.
That is so weird.
I'd find a dead fetus and bathe in its amniotic fluid.
He too was on Ambien when he said that. See, happens to the best.
Oh yeah,
of us.
when he said the word, yeah. Well, if he doesn't stop his show soon, I'm going to release all the unedited stuff that he says.
Ooh.
And get rid of him real quick. So yeah, might want to get some of those people who don't like me anymore over the last 6 months who suddenly like you to come back to my show, or I might have to release something.
Or else. Oops. Not a threat, just a promise.
The man who brought the sign with his child, Deftones.
Great show breaking that here you live, Cherry. Biggest pop all night was Thunder Rosa, followed up by Mox and Hangman. Instead of the commercials WWE shoved down your throat during commercials, Liv Justin Roberts talked with and was personable with the crowd.
Oh, that's really cool. It's too bad we didn't get to see Thunder Rosa. That's too bad.
Yeah.
She should have. Man, imagine if in place of that other women's match, we had Deftones. Thank you for telling us about what happened there. We got Thunder Rosa versus somebody. Or if next week it was Rosa versus Britt Baker again. Dude, they'll never. That match was probably the best women's match in AEW, right? That's the best match.
For a lights out, yeah, that was huge.
Rosa.
And Britt Baker's goal is to become the top star at Fyter Fest. So I believe it. She wants it bad. She really does want to be the top women's, title holder and in all of wrestling. And I don't blame her for being that hungry.
Oh.
I think she has the ability to be the top star in AEW. I hope that they continually stand behind her. The relationship she has with Tony.
I'd like to stand behind her.
No doubt. Adam Cole's a lucky man. But as far as next week goes, we have Britt Baker taking on Nyla Rose, Orange Cassidy against the Blade, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Spears in match 1 of his crusade, whatever you want to call it. So Shawn Spears is allowed to use a chair as a weapon, but not Jericho. And of course, likely opening the show again, we have a Texas death match in Texas.
You know how that match should end?
Jon Moxley against Lance Archer.
You know how that match should end with Jericho and Chairman?
How?
Chairman swings the chair at Jericho, misses him, and hits the ropes, hits him back in the head, and as he's turning around, Jericho Judas affects him. I think it would look awesome.
Now that would be fun.
He just gets
knocked out. That would be a great way to do it. Yeah, completely just level him.
Or outside the ring, he hits the post with it and he goes, and grabs his fingers and then turns around and gets Judas effect. Either way, Judas effect, would look great. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that would be a hell of a way to end it. I could see that too. He goes for the chair and then bam, quick turn. And
yep. And maybe after he connected successfully in the match already twice or something like that and it almost won and now he hits, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I'm being ridiculous. No, that's not ridiculous. That's because if he's using the chair, that's a good way to set it up. So Right.
I think that would be perfect. And
I think
NXT is going to be airing on Sci-Fi for 2 weeks during the Olympics instead of USA. So that I think is going to really hurt their ratings on the 27th and August 3rd because of the USA Network having the Olympics. And people were like, "Oh, how does it feel?" And that kind of thing because it happened to AEW not long ago with them being moved for the NBA and the finals and whatnot. So it's going to be weird with the Olympics having no fans as well, especially at this point in time. But they're so worried about COVID over there that they're no fans, and everything's so limited. And we'll see. But it doesn't seem. I mean, I'm not crazy about the Olympics to begin with, but at least when you have spectators, it's a bit better.
Yeah, So, yeah, sometimes it's better and sometimes they're quiet. I guess it depends on the event or whatever, but
yeah, but usually, the select few that I do watch, they typically get behind the finishes. So
It depends on what you're watching, but yeah, they could be all right without them. They're kind of like UFC's kind of like this, where I feel like UFC got away without fans, even though it's way better with fans. It sure is. It's great. They're back, but still, it was almost like watching golf. As long as the commentators do a good job, you are still interested in like this competition.
Yeah. And as much as I don't like the Thunderdome, it was still better than nothing. The reason I think I had such an issue with the Thunderdome is
we came up with
power.
we were the ones that came up with the before they did it. We were like,
projectors,
I'm like,
bringing the
put
fans.
tablets.
We said it forever.
I'm like, they could put tablets all over with fans' faces, and then that'd be cool. And then they actually did it. Like, so it was like, whoa.
And here's the thing: they said, it would be too risky to have fans on mics, and in like an open environment where they can hear them. Well, here's how you do it. You hire employees, or you get like actual fans, but turn them into paid employees, or you figure it out a way where it's people that you vet, that know are not trolls.
You got to sign NDA or whatever that is.
Yeah, make it an if you yell upset. But this way they could have actually gotten the audio from my microphone when I was in the Thunderdome, when I was booing and cheering and actually chanting, hey Drew, hey, go Kofi, that kind of thing. And they picked up that audio. That's what they should have had. And they do pick up your audio. They ask permission for your audio and video, so they can hear you. I even said something at once that the producer acknowledged with the light. Remember with Elias's
Oh yeah, you were
concert.
like, oh yeah. They could probably mute anybody.
So they can hear you, but they just don't use the audio. And I was always very baffled by that. I know they were worried about people, but there was many options for them to have. If they had people on the Thunderdome for 4 weeks and they never had an issue, then now you can put them up front and use their audio. That kind of thing. Have them sign something. But that's. I think Ring of Honor did the best job with no fans, with their pure strength tournament, whatever they had. That was really cool.
Would have been cool is for highlights on YouTube and stuff, is like when something crazy happens, grab everyone's isolated reaction that you liked. Like grab 10, 15, or 20 people you liked. Put them all in a little square, and after Raw's over, when there's a big move or something crazy, like take that moment of their reaction, and then after, when it's happening, like they go through a table, and then you could have pulled up everyone on a screen and like the Brady Bunch going like, oh my God, and then you could have called it like Thunderdome reactions and just stupid shit like that. Anyway, this is dumb, and we probably get sick of it after 4 weeks.
Because it matters. I mean, the fans matter, because we see how much this show tonight was improved.
This was good
with the fans. I can't imagine that Matt Hardy Christian Cage match sitting through that without fans. The fans, and obviously the story they told on commentary got me intrigued initially. I will give the commentary credit for that. I don't often do so, but they had me going.
We got post stuff from Matt Hardy. You want to hear it?
Absolutely.
I know it says in the record books that Christian Cage defeated Matt Hardy, but he did not. I just had my first daughter, and she's the most beautiful creature that has ever been on the face of this planet Earth. You did. Ever Hardy. Yeah. I've been suffering from sleep deprivation for 72 hours. I haven't slept.
That's why you lost.
Look at that. Another one. Play with sleep.
And it still took him 16 minutes to put me away. You're a son of a bitch, Christian Cage.
Yeah. Piece of trash. You took advantage of. Hey, whoa.
And you did not beat me.
He's like falling asleep, dude. He's pretending to fall asleep.
That's great.
Look at this. Oh my God, watch this.
Son of a bitch, Christian Cage.
Yeah. Piece of trash. You took advantage of. Hey, whoa.
And you did not beat me. I did not beat me. I'm coming to get your ass, and I'm going to drop you, and I'm going to beat you. You didn't beat me. This one should be erased from the records.
Yeah. Maybe deleted. No. Send back to hotel. Send back to hotel.
Some Three Stooges shit there from Matt Hardy, but hey, even that horrible shit right there that he just did is funny. It's still working for me right now. Here comes Casey is racist. Here he is.
I apologize for my racist comments, Jake.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Apologize to me, not to you, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, you're 2% black as opposed to me.
With your 1% in Chad. Yeah,
I'm 1% Chad though, so it's so weird to see that on my ancestry. It's like all these European places, and then just Chad, 1% Chad.
Of all things.
I was doing crack honk white things like banging my pet beagle and my sister in Bestiality 69 on a chicken farm in some donkey shit-filled hey KCU far crack.
AJ Adams, yes, sir. Well,
you know, people say use autocorrect to finish a sentence. That's what that donation seemed like.
Yeah.
It just kept. Yeah.
My Twitter does that all the time. I tweet something out, and I find that all these words were corrected afterwards, and I tweet it out.
Yeah, because when you hit space, it changes it, and I now try and train myself to look back. But yeah, the longest time I didn't, and it just, when you hit space, it changes it automatically. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I just don't.
Especially if you type quick and then you don't realize. That's why I get not having an edit feature that lasts for an hour, but for a minute maybe would be nice. 30 seconds. I mean, because their worry is you're going to have somebody tweet something out and then they change the tweet and all these people supported it, retweeted it, and agreed with it.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. You know, racism is cool. You change it to that kind of idea. Now you have 10,000 likes when you originally said, you know, Happy Pride Month. That kind of
you're
idea.
like, oh my God, look at all the people that liked this tweet that says "kill baby." You know, it's like, so,
exactly. So that's their concern. But
well, you know what? But it's easy.
To edit
Jake, I've solved the problem right now. Like you just said, you have a minute to edit it or whatever, or 30 seconds or whatever. But also, when you edit it, it removes all retweets and likes of the original tweet. What about that?
That would work. Or they can just show the edit too. They could just show the original tweet. Like if you click, it'll say edited from, and then you click the tweet and you can see it that way too.
But then you'd still have people doing that stuff to like mess with you.
Yeah, it's risky no matter what.
Yeah. How about just learn how to spell? How about proofread some shit, losers? How about that?
No doubt.
How about proofread, you
we're
fucking
all idiots, but
pricks?
Still.
No, I do it too.
I agree with what you're saying though, because had you gone a minute, been able to fix it, sure, that's simple. I don't imagine you're going to have that much of an impact that quick, but even 30 seconds, fine. But the rest of it's crazy, no doubt. Joe Exotic's sentence got overturned? Really?
What?
I know he tried to get paroled by Trump forever, so if that's the truth, that's crazy.
So he's out?
Wow.
That guy's out?
I don't know. I'm going to look into it.
I don't even know what he did. I didn't watch the show, so I don't even know. I just know he's like the Lion Tigers guy or something.
It's a hell of a very bizarre case. I mean, he owned that exotic animal park for like 20 years, 10 years, something like 20 years, I think it was. And it says Tiger King's Joe Exotic to be resentenced in his murder for hire case. So he's basically blamed for trying to hire someone to murder his enemy there, Carol Baskin.
His wife? Wasn't that his wife?
No, that was his like nemesis.
Oh, really?
Basically, yeah.
I didn't know that. See, I never seen the show. I don't even know.
She's allegedly disposed of her husband and fed them to the tigers. Her husband just magically disappeared one day, and the money was hers, kind of thing. And I don't remember all the details. I mean, I remember watching this half-heartedly a year and a half ago. So, but yeah, he was sentenced to 22 years in prison for hiring hitmen to kill wildlife activist Carol Baskin, as well as committing multiple wildlife crimes. Since the show's release, audiences developed a love-hate relationship with him, while most audiences simply despised Baskin. Yeah, they came down on her. A lot of people sided with him, but there was supposed to be a movie with Nicolas Cage starring as him, the Joe Exotic, but I guess they canceled that. But yeah, so now it's not that he got, I guess he's going to get retried, so. I have to look into that more. I mean, I know we're on a wrestling review, but still, that is quite interesting. Where did we leave off? Yep, Matt. So Christian Cage beats Matt Hardy. Good, solid 13 minutes in the end. You know, you got a twist of fate. Almost takes him out, but there he gets, you know, basically his own kill switch reversal from the twist of fate. So it looked good, and it looked like he was going to lose seconds before, so that was good. Then we had Britt Baker come out, and what did she say? She made another hellacious line that was great. Oh, Vicky Guerrero. She said, your last name will keep you. I'm tired of making Nyla relevant. And even though she's at the top of the food chain, she's out of my league, and I have to keep her relevant. And Vicky Guerrero's last name will forever keep her relevant. And I was like, damn. She's like, Nyla, you need the title to stay relevant. But even without it, I'm still DMD. So that was cool. She's, you know, had the blood money comment the week before. She's really been just, you know, firing off heavy, and I'm all about it. This is when Moxley cut his promo about Lance Archer saying how you don't beat him, you survive. And he's like, damn it, he's not going to stop coming after me. So I'm going to have to either stop him or I'm going to have to take him out and end his career, because there's only one boogeyman in AEW and New Japan, and that's me. So hell of a promo. He's like, you may be Texas born and bred, but next week you're going to be Texas dead. And I was like, you know what? Works for me. I love it. Then we had Sammy Guevara taking on, what's his name? Wheeler Yuta. I don't really know much about Yuta. Honestly, I've only briefly seen him before, so I wish Sammy got to face I don't want to say better opponent, but someone with a bit more prestige. That's why someone from the Pinnacle would have worked with the story they're having, especially after he beat Shawn Spears. Would have been good. But hey, it was still a good match, good hometown welcome for Sammy Guevara. And, obviously he goes up top for the moonsault early on, and Yuta gets out of the way, so Sammy just lands on his feet and then hits a shooting star press that looked great, then goes for another one, and then Yuta puts his knees up, gets a kick, so it's just kind of a back and forth, and he gets a 1 count. All of a sudden, Sammy kicks out there, gets a big enziguri in the corner, huge springboard cutter, hits the GTH, gets the win. 4.5 minutes, crowd gets to go wild for Sammy, and that's about it. QT Marshall's backstage with Tony, and they basically just boss Tony around. QT says that, I shouldn't be buried by the golden shovel Cody holes. That was a funny line, good Triple H reference too, with the golden
Cody
shovel.
holes.
Cody holes, digging them holes and, taking souls. So QT grabs his drink and dumps all over like a protein powder smoothie type drink all over Tony. And that was it for that. So, okay, I was hoping they were done with Cody. Maybe he is, and it's just him going on to be a dick, but doesn't really, it's a jobber thing. Yeah, like Ryan the Heel said, it's a jobber thing, but it's good. It works. Then we get Penelope Ford and Yuka Sakalada D.
Oh,
this does nothing for me, unfortunately, because like I said, the Joshi wrestlers all kind of feel interchangeable. They're just the same. Emi Sakura, Riho, Sakazaki. I like, their ability, no doubt, they're talented, but I don't know the difference between any of them, sadly, because we don't get any promos, characters, explanation, any build, nothing. They just come out, wrestle, and leave. So we got more out of Maki Ito, who came out and sang, than anybody as far as character development goes. I like
Penelope Ford's
match,
Penelope Ford's breasts are nice.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, she certainly looks great. And there was one moment in the match. Before the ending, she had they were trading punches, and then they got you saw her hit the big vertical suplex, and I was like, oh, that looked really good too. And then they started doing like kicks, and you saw a nice diving back elbow, and then pump kicks, and I'm like, all right, at least they're trying to be competitive here. And then the ending happened. We saw the splash, and that was it. And I was like, wait, Penelope Ford, who is essentially the AEW household name, the one that people know, loses here. Yuka really hasn't been featured, so I guess maybe they're gonna
because Kenny Omega or whoever's in charge of the women is an idiot, and they're like, this is her big return, like when Triple H or anybody who's hurt comes back in WWE, so that person wins because they're back. Nobody cared she was gone. That's the problem.
That's the problem. And here's the thing, Asuka, Io Shirai, and it's just like Kyrie saying when she was there's people you care about, and they're different. They look different. They sound different. They each have their own motivations and passions. Who's heel, who's face. The AEW side of the women's division, any of the Joshi wrestlers, all that Joshi stuff, I do enjoy, like when they're having the matches, but that's all it is. Just go out there, fight, and done. There is nothing more to it, and that's the sad part. So they need a few more big names for their women's division. The Iconics today said goodbye to, their roles as the Iconics because their 90-day no-compete is over. All the people that got let go first back after Mania, their no-compete clauses are up, so we'll see how that affects Slammiversary Saturday as well. Plus, we'll be talking Money in the Bank predictions as well as Slammiversary, notes and predictions. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show.
Yep.
And as I said before, for less than the price of coffee, $2, you can go ahead, or a blowjob from Casey is Raw. You can go ahead and get yourself into Out of Nowhere. That's right. Join us. Come hang out. Submit your questions. the whole shebang. You know, we'd like to hear from you. We're going to have a great time. Tune in 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursday night tomorrow, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Don't miss it. But Cassie Lee, you know, obviously it's a real name. Peyton Royce went ahead and said, I'll forever be thankful for the opportunity to create Peyton Royce. And sometimes you don't want the kayfabe to be broken, but I get it. It works for me. And then obviously Jessica McKay, you know, Billy Kay said, I love you, Billy Kay. Heart emoji, you'll forever be in my heart. So it's a hard thing to have so many years of those characters. And now suddenly that's who you were. People walked up to you, Peyton, Billy, Peyton, you know, that was your identity. And now it's stripped from you. So I don't know how I would deal with that personally, but that's got to be difficult.
It's like someone saying, yeah, you can't be Joe Cronin anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be Dan, or you're going to have to be somebody else. It wouldn't be hard for me, really, because I'm still, you know, it'd just be weird, though. Even it's weird now. People say,
I mean,
you know,
yeah, in the internet sense, but if you were wrestling everywhere and more well-known, it would certainly.
Exactly. And when my name wasn't Cronin, it was like, you know, Berserk Man. You know,
yeah.
Hey, Berserk Man. And all of a sudden, no, I'm Daniel. Like, nobody would.
I'm Joe Bazooka. Yeah, exactly.
Joe Bazooka in a new film.
Don't mind if I do.
Here's Casey's Raw again.
Duncachino.
He's racist.
Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
I say Garguts wasn't a wet back, he got a dry back.
Oh.
Myth busted.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Okay. Wait. Casey. Damn it.
What a sicko.
I'm coming for you.
Oh, come
I went over my head at first.
You know what? This is too smart for him. That can't be him donating. No, I'm starting
Maybe
to realize.
Drew's helping him out.
Yeah, well, he left the shows. He's not around.
Yeah, but you know, Drew and him, Casey working together, I could see it happening.
Hey, listen, easy to manipulate a retard. Let me tell you. Oh. Did you say you would know?
Said we would know.
Joe, listen up, listen up. It is game 3, Bucks versus Suns.
Suns!
Very close game. The game might be over by the time the game is over, but the fans in Milwaukee are going absolutely wild. It has been the best game so far this series.
Oh, it's going off.
Bucks might tie the series.
They did. They tied the series. NBA Finals on ABC. The Bucks have tied the series 2-2, and we're going to Game 5, baby. Just like hockey and everything else was exciting, and even that soccer football game the other day. Now, well, it's gonna get interesting, man. I got to be honest though. I think I'm going.
I was kind of surprised to see the Bucks make it to the finals in general.
Well,
so
I mean, these two teams in the finals is not what anybody thought.
I mean the Suns especially, but the Bucks, I was like, wow, that's a team I haven't heard of.
Milwaukee Bucks
of making it that far and
out of
nowhere.
Like
a long time.
I'm just happy the Suns, because the Suns, I believe, are the ones that took out LeBron. So I was happy about that.
I believe that's true. I don't really follow much basketball, but I believe that's right.
Me either. Yeah, I was pumped for the Suns when they beat LeBron. I was like, let's get, all right, I'm going to cheer for the Suns the rest of the time. All because of that.
Hey, it's a good thing to cheer for.
It'll be
Fuck
good.
LeBron at this point. Let's go Nike, all right?
I just hate that guy.
Space Jam. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They ruined Lola Bunny. No one cares.
Now every time I see Space Jam, I get angry. It's like, I hate you. I'd rather see
Space Jam from
I'd rather
us.
see
And Lola Bunny's tits. How dare you?
I'd rather see geriatric Jordan in Space Jam 2 than LeBron. You know?
Yeah.
Give me Jordan.
Absolutely.
Give me Jordan back.
They've had this idea for so long, and then I doubt it's positively executed, but we'll see.
It'd be all right, maybe. Whatever.
Maybe.
I
don't know. Some people said it was the preview stuff wasn't good, but like the pre-release, some of those pre-reviews.
You know what? If I want to watch a basketball movie, I'm going to watch White Man Can't Jump. That's just the best basketball movie ever, almost.
Not Hoosiers.
Okay, that and Blue Chips or Blue Chippers or what was it? Blue Chips? Blue Chips, right? Blue Chips was great.
I think that was it.
Did you ever see that?
Ages ago.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you didn't, you know what? I'm going to watch that. If you haven't seen Blue Chips, you got to watch that.
That came out, what, 93?
Nick Nolte, phenomenal movie. I love that movie.
He plays in that one.
But I'm telling you,
because who else is in that? Shaq and
there's a whole bunch of people in that movie. I mean, listen, you could say the air up there Kevin Bacon, the Kevin Bacon. If you're a white person and you like hope and you want to feel better about yourself basketball wise, watch the Kevin Bacon air up there. It's not horrifically weird at all.
See, that's one I don't remember.
Oh,
I really don't.
It's a weird one. You want to see the cover of the movie just to give you an idea?
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
You want to see how weird it is? Just by the cover of the movie, you're going to be like, "Holy fuck."
I bet.
Oh my god, this didn't get made.
Kevin Bacon went through that phase of all those weird movies.
Here you go.
One to the other.
Here you go. That's right. He's got to go to Africa to recruit.
Yeah, I do remember this now. Yeah.
Jimmy Dolan, the shake and bake. Or whatever the hell it is. But no, White Man Can't Jump is the best basketball movie, even though it's not. Yeah, whatever it is. It's a great movie. White Man Can't Jump, Hoosiers, yeah, okay. That's I should have thought about that.
I remember this movie, and then there was another movie where, wasn't it? It was terrible with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, yes. Black Magic or something magic.
Something like that, yeah, where she gets the
That's
powers
really
and
bad.
Yeah.
Don't ever watch that. That's the worst. Actually, Air Up There is better than that.
Is it?
Yeah, and there's nothing like Kevin Bacon being dressed up like one of the tribe member people to play.
Hey Joe, what's up? How's it going? I have a question. Why does Gargant still not have the belt yet? He won it nearly 3 weeks ago.
Oh, he has.
Also, has Leah been watching the Marvel Disney Plus show called Loki? The season finale happened today. I give it 7 out of 10.
I'm surprised. Well, actually, there was an issue with the post office, but it did go out, and I actually had the tracking for him days ago. I had to go down there, pick it up, and then repay for shipping and send it to him. And then they had to refund me my money, which they haven't refunded me for.
Yeah, that takes days.
It takes days. They told me that. And then today I was negative in the bank. So I was like, okay, I have negative $100 in the bank. $20 isn't going to matter. But thank you, Space Jam 2 will be good. I just don't know how it will be. Hopefully it will be. But yeah, man, this Air Up There is... That
movie with Whoopi Goldberg was called Eddie. That awful movie.
Eddie?
Eddie, yeah. Where she was obsessed with the Knicks.
Oh, yes.
And she replaces the coach. And she becomes like the big reason she turns the team around to make it to the playoffs.
That's okay. That's an interesting idea. It's like Celtics Pride.
Didn't get my call earlier. It's okay though, you were busy in your midday stream. Gotta fill you in tips on the full story of Blab. Got so many people to come to that website, pissed he didn't get credit by the developers.
Oh, really? That sucks. That's crazy. James Mesner with the $20 drop. Thank you, James. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed out, man. We got to chat soon and get you on and talk to you because I'd love to talk about that and some other things.
And there was another one, not Thunderstruck. There was another one, I swear, like in the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the chat knows, but it was the same idea as Thunderstruck where a kid basically got powers and he could play basketball.
Right. Oh, yeah, like the Rookie of the Year type of thing?
Yeah, same idea, but... I don't even know how the hell I got on this, but still nostalgia filled. Like I can't remember, but it had one like a young rapper in it. I swear, the 6 Man that might have been it too. I think one of them was Like Mike. That was it with Little Bow Wow. That was kind of he puts on the sneakers and becomes like Michael Jordan. Yeah, and Like Mike was it. Mr. Pico got it.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't seen Basketball Diaries. See, it's weird because even though I'm a hockey guy now and everybody knows I love hockey, baseball, football, everything.
You become
I really grew up playing basketball though.
Basketball Diaries.
Ryan the Heel, basketball. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I've heard it was. I think I've heard that was really good though, but I hadn't seen it, or at least I know it's well rated. But I haven't seen it. Huh.
Yep. And then the other one was the 6 Man, whereas Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Harrison and is his brother, and his brother dies, and his brother becomes a ghost that helps him on the basketball court.
Oh yeah,
that was another one too. Celtic Pride, that was a funny one.
I would say Celtic Pride. As I take a big
Duncachino?
drink of
Don't
this
mind
thing.
if I do. What's
What's my name? Duncachino.
Celtic Pride's like my second favorite basketball movie. That's just the greatest shit. I love that movie.
Daniel Stern, great.
UFC President Dana White was going to host an event on there because I got in contact with his management. Martin Shkreli screwed my podcasting dreams.
Right. That sucks, man. Man, we had that site was looking great, too. I was so excited about that site, man. We were pumped. That was like 5 years ago now. But remember VidMe, too? VidMe was great.
Yeah. Oh,
and I knew the VidMe guys. I knew the fucking VidMe guys because they liked my show. And that's why, dude, we would get put ahead of Keemstar and other people on their site.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
I still wish that other app had worked out well, too. The one that had, like, the broadcast feature where you guys could all be synced up with everything. And that had such an appeal to us as wrestling fans, especially. Like, live sports is pretty much straightforward.
Uh-huh.
Not often do you find somebody at a different time. But most often with wrestling, I feel like when we watch, no one's in the same spot. Especially with the network and all that. So
we're all over the place.
Up, it was such a great idea. And especially for you and I, when we're talking, it's like, oh, I got to pause. And then you have to call out the match and I got to figure out where you are and vice versa. And, it makes it so much easier just to be able to. So that was a very good idea that didn't work out. The VidMe thing would have been cool. And there was the website that, what's his name had, where he had all of the different podcasters on it for wrestling.
I don't remember, but that was horrible. Yeah, I remember
Bischoff, Eric Bischoff.
Oh, no, that's different. Yeah, no, Bischoff.
Yeah, remember that? I'm saying, remember that one too, where he was going to do that and have his own podcasting. And
I still have the meeting that I had, which he also gave permission to do this because he wanted it. He actually wanted it. I have the meeting that we had with Eric Bischoff recorded still about the website.
Yeah, funny enough.
Because he wanted it sent to him so he could remember the things we talked about, because he wanted to know what we thought and what ideas we had and what I had. And me and JD I also met with Bischoff, and everything was looking good. And I sort of indicated this to Eric when we talked. I said, because they were saying stuff about the subscriptions and what was going to work, and I said this to Eric, but everyone was being a yes man to Eric Bischoff on the phone because everybody couldn't believe I'm on the phone with Eric Bischoff. I think JD felt that way. JD just, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, it's going to be great, sir. Yes, sir. That's what JD was like. I got the fucking thing recorded. JD's like, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, so excited. Yes, sir. But with me, I was like, Eric, like, there's so many subscription things out there and there's so many things like it's, why not just, what about a Patreon for this or something instead? And what about this, that, and the other thing? Because how it's set up now, I feel like no one's really going to do this, but I also didn't want to undersell me and JD carrying our audience to his website.
Yeah, you wanted to say that people would buy it if the value is worth it, but the value was weird because they kind of undercut everybody else in a way, and then I don't think it was intentional.
But there's just nothing
poorly designed. But then there was subscriptions for. Everything was a la carte. So it wasn't like you bought a subscription to the site and then got in for everything. How they were designing it was like you were buying subscriptions to each section of podcasts. And then, so if you wanted to listen to yours and then his, like you had to pay for each one. And it was set up very weird at times.
So if I'm advertising, it's like, okay, I got to pay $5 for Joe. Okay, now I want to listen to a shoot interview. I got to pay $5 for that. And I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, Eric,
it comes all together for Netflix. That would be like, oh, well, you want to watch comedies? That's an extra $4. You want to watch horror? That's
also
$3.
said, other thing I said to Eric Bischoff is I said, I'm like, Eric, like, I have a Patreon already with a paywall, and so doesn't him, and so doesn't everybody. So we have our free content, and then we have our paywall content. That really works for us. If we come onto your site, $5 for me and $5 for everything else, I'm like, it's just, it doesn't add up, right? Like, to me, like, in a way. And then they were like, well, we're going to work it out and figure it out. And then, like, they never did. And then it never went the right way. And it just, I don't know. I think he almost bailed on it quickly. And I think Nick Hausman was really heavily involved in that. But I wish that I had been more upfront with him. I wish I called Eric. Because I did, on the recording, you can hear, everybody else is just, yes, sounds great to me. And I'm the one that's like, I don't know how that's going to work because of this. And when they were kind of like, yeah, you don't understand what we're doing, I'm like, okay. And I'm not going to be the one that pisses off everybody, but I wish that I had called him, because he did say, if you have ideas, though, I like this, tell us what you think. I wish I called Eric and been like, listen, this is not going to work at all. You know?
Yeah.
But within like not that long after that conversation, did it launch, not work right, not go well, and then immediately end. And I'm sure what happened is nobody signed up, or nearly nobody signed up. And they probably immediately went, oh shit, this is dead. Like, we're not doing this. And yeah, and I think that, you know, in order to really get it to work, in order to use somebody like me, or at the time, you know, someone else like JD or somebody else, you know, come over here and bring your listeners, you would have had to buy us exclusively. You would have had to say, you have to leave. You can only upload clips to YouTube, and you can only do stuff on our channel, on our thing. Okay, well, you're going to have to pay me $150,000. Can you do that? No, of course they can't.
Yeah.
So why would you do that? So what they should have done was, you know, just put, you know, what they should have done was what Title Match Wrestling has done. You know, Title Match Wrestling works because, you know, how many of you guys have signed up? I don't know overall. It's about 25. It's something like that, 25. I've been advertising Title Match Wrestling for a long time, telling you guys about coupon code Cronin and use the coupon code blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, I think it's something like 25. Maybe it's more. It might be 50 even, but I think at least it's 25. So 25, you know, times 4, you know, you're talking about, you know, what's that? You know, 20 times, or what is it? 25 people times $4.99 or something like that. You know, that's $130.
Yeah.
But a lot of you guys stayed, and that's one thing they did say is like 75% of your signups have stayed, and they watch stuff, it looks like. So, you know, if that's $80, but if that's $80 a month for 12 months, you know, hey, our advertisement made them $1,000, and they paid me, you know, a couple $100. So they got something out of it. You know, so that's good. You know, I don't get a whole lot. I don't get a lot out of that at all. You know, I made $200. That's not a lot, you know.
But, and that wasn't even the real case of it, but that would have been ideal. You know, this is all hypothetical, but
yeah, it's a little off the thing. But the bottom line is, but with him, it's like, hey guys, sign up for my thing. Anyway, we got to get out of here. We're babbling on. I'm babbling on. Jake's got to go.
Gotta get
let me play the. I'm gonna play the donos.
We had the coffin match.
Yeah, let's get to the coffin.
Women's match, coffin match.
Love it.
And I almost wish Darby came out in the coffin at first. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, oh, it would have been cool, but I liked the swerve because I didn't expect Scorpio Sky to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought the way that they sold me on it, commentary is in the back. I thought he would come out later. And Sting would come out.
This whole thing felt like
the casket was good.
Didn't it feel like old Raw in a way? Like when Sting came out and Scorpio Sky looked like Vince McMahon, like, oh, he's here. Like, oh, it was fucking crazy.
This felt like Stone Cold and Mankind taking on Kane and The Undertaker. Like, in that sense to me, like it had that where, you know, Scorpio and obviously Ethan Page will be, you know, the heels. We had Undertaker and Kane on that side. And you would kind of say Darby is a Stone Cold because he's not quite a face, but he's certainly hugely over, you know, and he is the face as much as they make him out to be, but he's never been identified that way. He's still kind of, you know, in between, but whatever. He's an individual. He's unique. And for as small as he is one of the very few, if not only, wrestlers that I can actually buy into getting their ass kicked and kicking out of things and like continually just going.
Yeah,
they have conditioned me to believe that he is virtually indestructible.
He really
if they ever let him get injured in the ring, I'm going to cry.
He reminds me a little bit, although he's a little more like crazy, but less wrestling. Like he's not as good of a wrestler, but he's as good of a high flying like guy who makes me believe he can do it. Reminds me a little bit of a more high flying, or not more high flying, but like you said, more like, I don't know, unpolished Taka Michinoku. Yeah, like Taka Michinoku. Like he's reminds me of Taka. Taka could make me kind of believe that he was doing stuff. And I think Darby hits harder and faster, but he doesn't have the wrestling ability that Taka Michinoku had, but he has the explosiveness and energy that he didn't have, and the size is similar. So I really like it.
Indeed. Best gimmick ever. I loved when they used to come out and do that with Taka. Indeed.
You just scared me. I thought God was talking to me. Like I was like, what the hell is
Jesus?
that? I didn't remember that gimmick, so I had no idea what you were doing. I do now. Right. I do now. It just popped into my head. But my God.
They used to go on and on with the dub over, and then he would
Yeah, he would he'd be saying all the,
he would go on for 10 seconds, and he would just say the one word.
Like a funny Japanese to English movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're spot on. It does feel that way. Not as clean polished as he was, but yeah, he's a lot more explosive. And obviously, Darby Allin skates down, immediately bursts out of the into the ring and right into Ethan Page like a cannonball, being fired from a cannon. He's just done for. He's going for it, and he goes ahead and he's wearing a metal plate on his back as he does a back kind of charge, almost like a standing coffin drop into the corner, and
kind of like a running cannonball almost, but
yeah, like a springboard coffin drop, a cannonball.
Imagine if he had done that while he was running off the ropes and he hit him in the head off the ropes with that, and the guy played knocked out for a second. That would have been
great. So this is something they could tease on going forward, though, with him.
It was just so cool that it was like an added layer of something. Like, it was already exciting, it was already crazy, and now you got him doing that, and then immediately takes off and there's the thing, and it's like, Jesus, it's already, I didn't expect anything like that. It was just an extra added layer that I liked.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing Scorpio Sky pop out after Darby Allin opens the casket was a good touch. I like all the black roses they had inside. I like that they included the tattoo that's on his chest on the top. So nothing's over till you're underground. Great line. Only one that tops it is "I can't rain all the time." And go ahead and they beat the shit out of each other here. There was one move that actually made me cringe. And I know the steel steps are not obviously, well, that too. It was a little bit of both. It was an orgasm mixed with just a cringy pain.
Did you see how bent the steel steps were after the match?
Yes. And I know they're not actual steel. They're the aluminum steel.
Yeah.
It's
but they're heavy.
It's malleable. It's bendable. Yes, they're still very heavy. And AEW stairs are not the two-piece ones like WWE. They're one altogether. Yes, they're hollowed out in between, but it's still a hard landing. And he slammed himself flat back. I mean, he took it right, flat back down. It kind of landed more on his ass and lower back than anything. So he weighted himself well, and his ass really took more of the brunt of it, but it looked so painful. And the way that the stairs crushed into one spot, and you're like, oh, the steel stairs are mangled and wrecked. And you're like, it just, at this point in time, Page is already bleeding. I wasn't really sure of the exact...
Who's bleeding?
Ethan
Page.
Ethan Page. And I don't know what caused him to get busted open.
I don't either.
I
have no
saw
idea.
Page goes ahead, he basically they had the thing where they're fighting back and forth into the coffin, and Page pulls him in there with him, and then they're slapping each other, and then Darby bites his finger, and the next time Page comes up, he's bleeding out of his forehead. So I didn't see what. I don't know if it was. I don't know what it was before that whether him going into the casket and he hit something there or going in the corner, but
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That was way after everything. Like, Sting had already been out before that, right?
Yeah, Sting had already come out. They fought with Sky around everything, and this is about halfway through the match where he got busted open. But I just wasn't sure if you caught what cracked him open the hard way.
No, I missed it.
As you can see by the cut, I don't think they showed it at all. He just appeared bleeding. So
he might have gotten. I mean, there's so many things that were caught. We missed. The camera was missing a lot on some things. That was the only issue. Like, we missed Sting. Missed on something outside in the crowd. We missed that.
He was
camera.
doing the stinger splash while
he missed
Ethan Page was undoing the turnbuckle.
Right.
To detach that.
I wonder if he cut himself
undoing the
landing
of the splash.
Maybe cut himself undoing the turnbuckle while spinning the stanchion.
Maybe I didn't see it then, but anything's possible. Because it was Darby Allin that got tossed in the air and landed face first on the steps.
Oh,
so I don't know if it was the shoulder block that hit him.
Wait, who's busted open? Darby?
No. Ethan Page had
Ethan,
a cut in the side of his head. So
I'm not sure. Yeah. See,
I wasn't sure. It's when he came down when they were both fighting inside the casket. He came up and he was bleeding at that point, and that's when they got back into the ring. And he picks up the steps, and he's got Allin across his back, and Darby gets out of it and hits him with a stunner. He's going for the coffin drop, and Page gets up there and hits him with the Ego's Edge right on top of the stairs. Like I said,
Ego's Edge, great, hilarious,
great name. Razor's Edge is a great move to begin with. So
I found the KuKluxKlan.com. I think he'll join.
Oh, God. What the hell is wrong with you, Casey? Jesus.
Jesus, Casey. And yeah, I guess Jesus was there according to the chat, so that's cool. Paul sent us a video of the step spot to our Twitter, so we'll have to see his view.
Oh, nice from in the crowd.
Yeah, because he was there in person. Oh, what a shot, Paul. Love that. Thank you so much. I just retweeted it, and I'll share it in the chat.
Oh, nice. I'm going to go look at it.
A shit bomb.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Above the rim 2-pack.
Above the rim. That's a good point. There's another one. Ryan the heel. We're going to have to watch all these and figure it out. Watch this. Oh, my God. Look at that. Beautiful.
Wow, Paul. What a great shot. I mean, he lets him go midair to get even more momentum. He doesn't even lower him down gently.
I'm in a weird mood now.
Casey, you little boy loving creep, how many boxes of Kleenex do you go through a week during the Little League World Series? I'm going to take your racist ass and drive it to Black Mountain and have Tommy teach you gun safety. Eat my ass when I take a shit.
Wow.
Eat my ass when I take a shit. Good Christ, AJ Adams' friend. I'm giving tonight an 8.5 out of 10. What do you give it, Jake?
I am right there with you, honestly.
I mean, I think it's too high. I think it is too high. I think an 8 is better, but I'm just hyped in the crowd and whatever.
I'm hyped too. I would have given it an 8, but I could have even given it a 9 with the crowd. If they didn't have that forward, suck a lot of D match and I think actually that's the only takeaway from it that I didn't care for, because really, like I said, I wanted Sammy to wrestle longer, but I still liked his stuff. So that's not really a complaint. It's
I
just
appreciate the women though, kind of putting it to a halt for a second, and then they had to re-ramp it, because if they were good,
yeah, I mean, you always need that lull. You need that crap match to make everything else feel special, no doubt. But really, this felt like a pay-per-view night more than most other nights have. So when they have specials, they do a decent job. I think the best one they had is probably the Winter is Coming one with Sting's debut.
Yeah.
And this one feels really good as well, because that's when Kenny won the title. So, But yeah, obviously at the end, Darby Allin wins. And, he just kind of grabbed the skateboard, jumps off the ropes, and dives, driving the skateboard right into,
the kidneys,
Page's, kidney and lower back, and he falls into the coffin. Darby finally shuts the lid. That's it. And then you're like, oh, at least you never got to see the coffin drop. Like, awesome match. And then Darby starts to celebrate, and both men are still in the casket, and he climbs up, and at least I thought both guys.
One man was in the casket.
No, they didn't have Scorpio Sky in it. I thought he was on the other side. What was the angle? I thought he had both of them in it.
Oh, really? I don't think so. But
I might have seen it wrong, but either way, I know Page definitely slid over and covers his face, and you can see his arm covering him as Darby just lines up perfect, jumps backwards, which is always so impressive because it's just a trust fall at that point, and does a great coffin drop through the casket. Obviously Page slides over to get, away from all the brutalness of it, but still there's no way for that not to hurt. And I'll tell you what, I think the best part of all this is that I was looking forward to AEW. I always do, but I was a bit apprehensive of like, how will this night turn out? Like, some of the matches of the 4 advertised seemed good, but I wasn't overly excited. Now I can't wait to see next week.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this is another one of those situations. I do this all the time. I don't know if you can top this, because it was kind of a special thing. And so I think next week is going to be good, but I don't know if night 2 can top night 1 when we give night 1 an 8.5. Going to be hard to top that or equal it. So let's hope they do, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, they got Chris Jericho, Shawn Spears, Orange Cassidy, and the Blade had a really, really good match last week, but it was an intergender match. So one-on-one will be good. Britt Baker, Nyla Rose could be good, and Moxley, Lance Archer.
Sent you another racist Casey clip. Credit to Randy.
Oh boy, not another one. Oh God,
Casey,
oh my God, who are these people? Like, oh my God, oh, that's Monica and James. Okay, never mind. Sorry, they were on my Facebook page. I didn't know what that was.
I'll be right back.
Oh my God! What was that?
Oh my God! He said, I can't believe he said that.
Casey.
I can't even play that.
Garguts did play it last night.
Oh,
Casey,
God.
my God.
Good Lord. Just horrific.
Well,
That
Darby
is-
came down on the skateboard, so I'm
Right.
pretty sure that was the same skateboard. Some people were saying, where did it come from? But he rode down the ramp on his skateboard that he brought out.
I mean, really just, how did that, what the hell?
I don't know. That's bad from Casey.
Pretty crazy stuff, man. But we are out of here, man. Again, tomorrow night, just typing in to get it. Oh, let me see. Yep, tomorrow night on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. $2 or more, you'll get Out of Nowhere. We'll be live on the Patreon. Come check it out, and we'll see you later. Jake at Countdown Ended on Twitter. And I'm at JCS Commentary on Twitter. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for all the love and sexy tonight. Appreciate it. Shout out to Shell and Soundwave 92, who had the big numbers right there. And shout out to everybody who got wet. I hope you did get wet. Coming up, big stuff, man. We got Diablo new season. I'll be playing that on Friday night. That'll be fun for me. Resurrected in September. A couple other video game things happening this week, and a bunch of other news outside the wrestling world that I have all over the channels. Make sure you guys are part of everything. And don't miss Out of Nowhere behind the paywall this Thursday night. Oh, Jake DeMarco's got a big dick. And Nathan just became a patron too, man. Yeah, yo, I seen it. What up, Nathan? Thank you for signing up on Patreon. Nathan, the newest Patreon. I just noticed it. Get wet. Nathan in the $5 spot, I think. Maybe the 2? Or is it 5? I think it's 5. Yeah, baby. And I fell. So did you. Darby is crazy. Good night, everybody. Hit that like button. Darby Allin. I came from death. I'm dead. I'm torn up flesh. I painted my face white. Then it turned out red. I came from nothing, and nothing is where I return. You lit a match to watch it burn.
We did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
I have to get off in a couple of seconds.
I ate your cum and it threw me over the border.